filling a bottle with a bunch of studs to literally asking you to remove pieces you just added, these are some LEGO sets that make no sense. And starting off strong, we've got the 76038 Avengers Tower set that comes in at a solid 2,992 pieces. But here's the catch, because it includes 269 window frames and panes of glass. Now, you're never putting together all 269 at once, thankfully, but trust me, doing them a few dozen at a time still feels like a test of your patience and your fingertips. It's like the set is almost secretly training you to have superhero level endurance. But once you do power through the repetitive window building marathon, the result is pretty rewarding. And that's because the tower looks sleek and futuristic with those large blue windows running up the entire height, giving it a cool modern look. Yes, sure, it might be one of the more labor-intensive builds, but hey, at least you get a stunning display piece out of it. Plus, if you ever wanted to know what it's like to be Tony Stark's window installer, well, now's the chance. And that's because the LEGO Daily Bugle set packs a hefty 3,772 pieces and stands as one of LEGO's tallest Marvel sets. And as you dive into the build, you'll encounter step 40, which involves assembling 40 window pieces into 4 groups of 10. This isn't a one-time deal though, because you're going to be repeating this process 22 times throughout the entire build, totaling 347 window pieces. It's a bit like setting up a never-ending office party. Lots of windows, lots of repetition, and you're just going to get bored eventually. Now look, while the repetitive window building can get a bit tiresome, the finished product is pretty spectacular. The Daily Bugle, of course, features multiple floors and a whole roster of minifigures, making it a standout in any Marvel collection. Sticking to Marvel though, the LEGO Avengers Helicarrier set is also a massive, impressive model that brings the iconic flying command center from Marvel to life. As you work through this set, you might encounter a particular moment that sets it apart from most builds, a step where you're actually instructed to remove LEGO bricks. That's right, because while most sets are all about adding pieces to build up the model, the Helicarrier has a rare twist where you need to actually take some bricks off. It's like LEGO threw in a plot twist, making builders do a bit of a teardown before actually finishing it up. This step can be a surprising change of pace to someone, especially if you're just used to stacking bricks together. So when you do hit that removal step, just remember it's all part of the grand design and probably a clever way to get everything just right before you add the finishing touches. All right, now finally moving on with all of that Marvel talk, let's now get right into Star Wars, shall we? Because the Jedi Training Diorama set clocks in with over 1,000 pieces. But brace yourself for steps 42 and 43, because in step 42, you'll be adding 39 tiny 1x1 translucent green plates to set up the swamp base. And just when you think you're done, step 43 comes in and hits you with 177 more to create that bubbling swamp effect. It's like the set's way of testing your patience and precision, and maybe channel some Jedi calm for this part, because it can feel like searching for Yoda himself in all these little pieces. Now look, despite the repetitive tile laying, the final result is pretty awesome. The diorama does nail the swampy, mysterious vibe of Yoda's home on Dagobah, and it looks pretty good on display. Sure, those 1x1 tiles might have you questioning your life decisions at some point, but once it's finished, you'll feel like you've truly completed your Jedi training. Because now, this next Star Wars set does give you a little more room to relax. The LEGO Star Wars Imperial Landing Craft from 2007 is a cool set featuring an iconic Empire landing craft. And as you work through the build, you'll come across step 27, which is notably the simplest LEGO step ever. Why? Because the instruction is to open a parts box that is completely empty. No bricks to place, no pieces to store. It's like LEGO decided to throw in a little breather right in the middle of your build for whatever reason. Typically, these super easy steps pop up towards the end of the instruction booklets, but this one's a bit of an oddball, making an appearance in the middle of the process. It's almost like LEGO wanted to give you a moment to catch your breath and enjoy a brief pause before diving back right into the construction. Now, the Lord of the Rings Rivendell set is a massive 6,167 piece build that's every bit of epic as the journey to Mordor, but without all of the orcs. However, starting around step 216 in the third instruction booklet, you'll encounter a roof tiling saga of your own. Across 4 steps, you're going to be placing 266 tiny 1x1 tiles. Yep, once again. And if you want me to break it down, that's 53 1x1 tiles in step 216, 60 in step 217, 83 in step 218, and 70 in step 219. But wait, and just when you think it's all over, surprise, because another 44 tiles in a different section also appear. It's like the LEGO version of the Council of Elrond, only instead of debating the fate of the One Ring, you're endlessly aligning tiles. Now look, despite the roof tile marathon, the end result is stunning. Rivendell does come to life with the intricate details capturing the beauty and elegance of the Elven city. Sure, the tiling will test your patience and maybe also your eyesight after a certain point, but once it's complete, you'll have a breathtaking display piece worthy of Middle-earth itself. Just remember to pace yourself though, because elves do live forever, but you might not want to spend that long on a roof. Next, the LEGO Monkey Kid City of Lantern set offers a vibrant and detailed cityscape that's sure to impress. But as you work through this colorful build, you might stumble upon a rather peculiar step, placing 12 Technic pins loosely into a small container. At first, this step might seem a bit confusing, like LEGO is trying to mess with your mind, but there's actually a method to the madness. This seemingly odd instruction is a clever storage trick. By keeping the Technic pins together in a container, you'll have them organized and ready to go for when you need to connect modular components later on. It's a bit like LEGO's way of saying, trust us, this will make your life a lot easier. So, while it might seem like a pretty unusual step, it's all a part of making the building process smoother and more enjoyable. The LEGO Stranger Things set is a fantastic tribute to the hit TV series, packed with iconic elements that fans will love. And look, as you dive into this set, you might encounter a quirky step around step 25. Here, you're directed to stack 3 1x4 plates to match the height of a single 1x4 brick. It sounds a bit unconventional, but again, there's a method to this unique approach. The designer of this set chose this route specifically to sidestep potential mix-ups, partially since the set includes 1x4 bricks with side studs as well. By using plates to achieve the required height, LEGO helps prevent confusion about which piece to use and simplifies the building process. It's a clever trick to keep things straightforward and avoid any unnecessary errors. So, as you stack those plates, just know that it's all a part of making your Stranger Things build as smooth as possible. Nothing else. No need to worry about a parallel dimension of confusing instructions. Haha, funny joke, let's move on. The LEGO Ghostbusters Ecto-1 set is a fantastic tribute to the classic movie, packed with iconic elements and characters that fans will recognize and love. As you build this set, you'll encounter a clever and somewhat unusual step involving cylindrical yellow bricks. These bricks are used temporarily though for support during the assembly process. But here's where things actually get interesting. Once you've got the core structure in place, the instructions will then guide you to remove these yellow bricks because again, they're temporary. It's a bit like taking down the scaffolding from a newly built skyscraper. Suddenly, the model stands on its own, looking sleek and polished without those temporary supports. So look, while it might feel a bit odd to add and then remove bricks later on, it's a part of making sure your Ghostbusters set is sturdy and well constructed. And once those yellow bricks are out of the picture, you're left with a brilliant representation of the Ghostbusters iconic gear, ready to fend off any supernatural shenanigans. Overall though, it's a pretty cool concept of using bricks to support the build along the way. Another example of this actually is in the LEGO Emerald Knight set from 2009. This is a detailed train model that stands out for its intricate design and beautiful locomotive. And as you build this train, you'll notice an unusual but practical step involving temporary supports. Early on in the construction, you'll set up 8 support pieces to help stabilize the build, kind of similar to the Ghostbusters set we were just discussing. It might seem like LEGO is just giving you extra pieces to work with, but there's a method to this temporary madness. And that's because when you do reach step 46, these support pieces are once again removed, dismantled, and set aside. Once the structure is solid, the supports come down. This clever approach once again ensures that your Emerald Knight is sturdy during the build and looks sleek and polished when you're all done. So while you might be puzzled by the temporary use of these bricks, it's all a part of the process once again to get your train just right. And once those supports are out of the way, you're left with a stunning model that's ready to chug along your LEGO track in style. And if you're into sports cars and ever dreamt of designing one of your own, well, you might need to check out this LEGO set. The LEGO Speed Champions Mercedes set packs a solid 564 pieces, but the real test of your patience isn't the building, but it's the stickers. Step 242 in particular will have you juggling multiple stickers at once, trying to align them just right without getting air bubbles or misplacement or any of the junk that stickers come with. It's like a mini exercise in precision that can quickly turn from, oh, I'm almost there, to let me just start over. Once you survive the sticker gauntlet though, the build is then worth it. The Speed Champion series is all about detailed, sleek models, and the Mercedes set really does deliver on that. The final car looks sharp and ready for a race. Sure, you might need to spend more time getting the stickers perfect than actually snapping bricks together, but once it's all done, you'll have a stylish, detailed set that looks great on display. Just remember though, again, with like most things LEGO, patience is key, especially with those stickers. You don't want to mess them up because it's not as easy as, taking it off yourself and putting it back, you can mess it up. Now, that's not the only sports car that I have to yap about. The LEGO Speed Champions Ferrari set, part of the Speed Champions series, offers a sleek selection of Ferrari models. If you've ever wondered about the logic behind some LEGO steps, you might find step 3 particularly intriguing. Here, a 1x1 red plate with a Ferrari logo gets covered by another brick. And at first glance, it might seem like an odd move, but it's actually a clever design choice. By using multiple printed 1x1 red plates throughout the set, LEGO simplifies the process for builders. Instead of sifting through a bunch of pieces to find the one with the logo on it, every single red plate comes pre-printed. Kind of an interesting idea. It's a small touch that makes the building experience smoother and keeps you focused on putting together your Ferrari rather than hunting for some specific piece. So again, while it might look a bit counterintuitive and it might leave you scratching your head at first like, wait, why would they do that? It's all a part of making your build as enjoyable and straightforward as possible. I wonder if any other sets actually do this. So if they do, comment down below if you know any others. And if there's LEGO sports cars, there's definitely LEGO sports bikes. The LEGO BMW motorcycle set is a 1,920 piece tribute to the iconic BMW M1000RR, but you'll hit a bit of a speed bump around step 77, because that right there is when you'll need to assemble 62 links to create the bike's chain. And while it's crucial for making the model functional, it's also one of those repetitive tasks that makes you wonder if building a full-size bike might actually be easier. Once the chain's out of the way though, the build really shines. The level of detail on this model is impressive, from the sleek design to the working chain and gears. It's like having a miniaturized version of the real thing, and it looks amazing on display as well. So while the chain might feel a little tedious, it's all a part of creating a model that's not just about looking at it, but it's also functional, which is perfect for motorcycle enthusiasts and LEGO fans alike. On the topic of speedy things though, the LEGO Loop Coaster set comes in at a hefty 3,756 pieces and promises an epic, nearly 2-foot tall functional roller coaster. But the catch lies in step 452. This step requires you to assemble 254 chain links to get that coaster up and running. And while it's essential for the ride, linking together that many tiny pieces can start to feel like you're just building a real amusement park at this point from scratch, minus the funnel cakes. Despite the chain link marathon, however, the final product is a showstopper. The working roller coaster brings a whole new level of fun to the build, and watching it in action makes all of that repetitive chain assembly feel totally worth it. If you love the idea of having your own mini amusement park though right on your desk, the Loop Coaster set is going to be your new favorite set. Just take it slow with those chain links because you don't want to burn yourself out. The LEGO Haunted House set is a spooky delight with 3,231 pieces, but brace yourself for a bit of a horror show when you hit step 440. This step has you assembling 151 chain links to get the elevator mechanism working. Just like before with the roller coaster, it's like a chain link marathon where the goal is to just avoid losing your mind to the repetitive nature of the task. Despite the chain link grind, the Haunted House itself is a real treat. It's packed with eerie details and a spooky charm to it, making it a standout piece in any collection. The functional elevator is a cool feature, but it might not feel so thrilling when you're knee deep in those tiny links. Just think of it again as a test of your patience, and by the time you're done, you'll have a haunted house that's both hauntingly detailed and eerily functional. Speaking of standout pieces though, I definitely consider the LEGO Ideas typewriter set as one of them, since it brilliantly captures the charm of a vintage typewriter. And as you delve into this build, you might notice a peculiar approach in the instructions. Instead of the usual step-by-step assembly, you'll be tasked with creating and piling up multiple Technic beams in what initially seems like a haphazard manner. At first glance, this method might feel a bit disorganized, like LEGO is challenging your patience or playing a game of let's see how they can handle this one. However, builders are instructed to construct several half-completed Technic components and then stack them together, which deviates from the more linear build process that you're already used to. However, this unconventional approach is actually designed to streamline the assembly of the typewriter's intricate mechanics, making the final build both functional and also satisfying. So while the piling of Technic beams might seem a bit odd, it's all a part of the master plan to create a typewriter that not only looks fantastic, but also actually functions with a delightful retro touch. Embrace the quirks and you'll find that this unique building process adds to the overall charm of the set. And another beautiful set that makes a perfect decoration is the LEGO Ship in a Bottle set, and I feel like everyone's seen this one. This set includes 962 pieces, and while the final product is visually stunning, getting there involves a bit of a grind. At one stage in the build, you'll need to place 284 tiny blue studs inside of the bottle to create the effect of water. It sounds like an oddly specific specific number, but LEGO molds 1x1 round studs in batches of exactly 284, which is why you'll find yourself meticulously placing them one by one. The good news is that despite the repetitive stud placing, the end result is absolutely breathtaking. The ship inside the bottle looks incredibly detailed and elegant, making all those tiny blue pieces worth it. So while your fingertips might get a bit tired from the repetitive task, you'll end up with a beautifully crafted piece that's sure to be a standout on anyone's shelf. And hey, it's not every day you get to build a ship in a bottle without having to worry about the seasickness. And of course, you can't sail across the sea without a map. Well, the LEGO World Map set is a monumental 11,695 piece endeavor, holding the title for the most pieces in any LEGO set. However, if you're tackling this build, be prepared for a bit of a marathon. Out of those 11,695 pieces, a staggering 11,130 are tiny 1x1 round elements, with 364 of them being white studs. And look, you'll be placing these minuscule pieces on 40 16x16 LEGO art plates, a task that can easily take between 15 to 20 hours. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle where each piece is a microscopic dot, and the satisfaction is in seeing a world map slowly come together. Despite the repetitive nature and potential for sore fingers, the end result is a stunning and impressive display piece. The world map not only looks fantastic on display, but also offers a unique way to showcase your LEGO skills and patience. Just remember as you place each tiny stud that you're not just building a map, you're creating a piece of art that'll make you feel like a true LEGO cartographer. And if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, just think of it as your personal journey around the globe, one stud at a time. Haha, you see what I did there? Now with that world map in hand, let's take a trip to India and marvel over at the Grand Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal set is a whopping 5,923 piece masterpiece, but be prepared for a bit of a grind when you hit page 42 of the instructions. Here, you'll actually place 6 tiny 1x1 tiles onto a 2x3 plate to form a checkerboard pattern 33 times. That's 198 tiles in total, which, fun fact, makes up 11% of the set's 2,022 pieces dedicated to just this one part. The good news though, well, LEGO was kind enough to separate the colors into individual bags, so at least you won't be, sorting through a mountain of tiny tiles like a treasure hunt. I would just not build a set at that point. Despite the repetitive nature of the checkerboard tiling, the payoff is huge. The Taj Mahal's architecture is as complex and detailed as the real thing, making it a truly iconic build. Sure, you'll spend a fair chunk of time laying down those tiny pieces, but when you step back and see the finished product, it's totally worth it. Plus, you can say that you survived one of LEGO's most intricate challenges ever. No passport needed for this trip to India. Moving on to our next stop though, that'll be Paris, France. Now, we all know what this iconic tower is, right? Well, yep, it's the LEGO Eiffel Tower set, and it's a colossal 10,001 piece marvel, reaching nearly 4 feet tall when completed. However, don't expect a quick build because the first 18 bags are dedicated to constructing just the base, which is already a bit repetitive. But the real test for patience starts with bags 19 through 32, where you'll be building the 4 main supports of the tower. Each support follows the same steps repeatedly, and to add a touch of extra challenge, many of the parts are mirror images, meaning you're essentially building the same structure twice, but in opposite orientation, so it can get a bit confusing too. While the repetitive nature can make the build feel slow and occasionally monotonous, the end result is worth it. The towering piece stands impressively tall and captures the grandeur of the real Eiffel Tower. So, if you're ready for a marathon build and don't mind a bit of deja vu with each step, this set will reward your patience with a stunning replica of one of the world's most iconic landmarks. Just be prepared for a test of endurance, no trip to Paris required. Now, with all that boat sailing comes a pirate ship, which makes the last entry on this list. The LEGO Ideas Pirates of Barracuda Bay set is a real gem for fans of pirate adventures, offering the flexibility to build either a dramatic shipwreck or a fully intact pirate ship. What makes this set particularly intriguing though is the way it handles the transition between these two different configurations. When you decide to switch from the shipwreck to the complete ship, the instructions involve a series of steps dedicated to removing various pieces from the wrecked model. It's like LEGO is almost giving you a reverse treasure hunt, where instead of adding pieces, you're carefully taking away some to reveal the ship in all its glory. This process might feel a bit counterintuitive, but it's a clever way to allow for a complete reconstruction, turning the shipwreck right back into its prime. So, while it may seem odd to start by dismantling parts of your build, it's all a part of the fun and flexibility that does come with this set. Whether you're into the dramatic look of of the wreck or the sleek design of the intact ship, you get to enjoy both sides of the pirate adventure with one fantastic set. From a spider trike having 4 wheels to a helicopter that LEGO tried turning into a Beyblade, here's some negative 500 IQ LEGO sets that will leave you scratching your head. Starting things off with the LEGO Starry Night set. This set is a real gem because it does recreate Vincent van Gogh's famous painting with incredible detail. But once you finish building it, you might be left wondering why you've got a ton of leftover 1x4 plates in all sorts of different colors. Although it's not uncommon to end up with a few extra pieces, the sheer number of these plates is unusual, and most extra pieces are just tiny and a safety net in case something goes missing. LEGO also usually counts parts by weight, so lighter pieces get extras to prevent issues. But however, in this case, LEGO went above and beyond. The mystery deepens because LEGO actually included these extra parts as a step in the instructions and even featured them in the official set images. Well, if you look at the set, there are many shades of blue plates: aqua, bright blue, dark azure, earth blue, light royal blue, medium azure, and medium blue. I don't even know what azure means. Anyways, that's a lot of blues, but to prevent confusion over which shade to use, LEGO included extras for each and every color. This way, if you accidentally grab the wrong shade earlier in the build, well, you'll have plenty of spares to correct your mistake. And with the Tales of the Space Age set, you'll notice more of LEGO's quirky design choices, because in bag number 2, you'll get a bunch of white wand pieces that are used as comet trails. You should have at least one wand left over since these wands come in pairs, but the odd part comes in bag number 3, because here there's a step with a picture of bag number 2 and a single white wand piece despite the wand not being in bag 3 at all. The idea overall is that you use one of the leftovers from bag number 2 to finish off the build. And look, it's a clever way to use extra pieces, but it's definitely not something you see every day and does for sure lower your IQ a bit. And then there's the upscale minifigure set. In step 33, you're instructed to place a 4x4 round brick on top of a turntable piece, which seems pretty straightforward. But here's where it gets weird, because you're also told to insert a Technic axle piece into the hole of the brick. The axle doesn't actually click into place though and remains loose, which makes the next step even stranger. And that's step 34, which involves putting a 2x2 tile over the hole to keep the axle in place. And even when covered, the axle still rattles around. However, this axle isn't entirely pointless because it does reinforce the build, making it more durable, much like how rebar strengthens concrete. Speaking of clever though, the LEGO Succulent set has a fun trick as well, because at the end of book 3, you're told to place 2 loose Technic axles underneath the plant and then cover them up. It seems a bit random, but it's actually a smart move. Technic axles are tiny and easy to lose, so they're included as replacements. The set provides plenty of them to ensure you don't run out. But now let's talk about something less practical but still interesting, and that's the LEGO Treehouse set. In step 33, you're instructed to place a single crystal in a hole that's gonna be covered up shortly. And to make things even stranger, there is a picture of a minifigure in the instruction booklet winking and holding the same crystal. It's like he's showing off his hidden treasure, and it's a quirky little touch. Now, some LEGO sets include hidden printed pieces, but sometimes it's just baffling. For instance, in Bowser's airship from the Super Mario line, you place 2 printed POW blocks side by side, and a few steps later, one of them is completely covered up by another brick. Why hide a printed piece? It's possible that the Super Mario sets are meant to be highly customizable, so extra printed pieces are included to let builders create their own levels. That's just speculation though, that's not confirmed. And something very similar to that is found in the 1970 Ferrari set, which has printed 1x1 plates with the Ferrari logo that are also covered up in later steps. Basically, the idea here is to prevent builders from using the wrong pieces too early in the build. By placing the printed plates where they won't be seen, LEGO avoids potential mistakes down the line. And in one set, there are steps with no pieces at all. Step 27 of the Imperial Landing craft set shows an empty blue box. I'm not even joking, check this out. It is an empty blue box, implying no bricks are needed at all. It's the final step of the sub build, so it's a bit pointless, but a similar issue also arises in the Hulkbuster Battle of Wakanda set, where steps 4 and 5 are identical, making step 5 pretty unnecessary. Basically, they duplicated a step. They have it twice for whatever reason. And then there are the instruction booklets that are just poorly designed. For example, the LEGO Bonsai Tree set, and who doesn't love that one, has instructions that are hard to read, like even the official PDF of the instruction booklet. The Sesame Street set and the San Francisco Architecture set also suffer from the dark backgrounds that make the instructions a bit difficult to follow. Even though pretty much all of my devices are in dark mode, this is also almost unbearable. I mean, I literally can't even see what some of this says. And back in the day, LEGO instructions were even worse. I mean, just take a look at the 1989 El Dorado Fortress, for example. One page has 4 steps with no clear instructions, piece count, or sub-assembly guidance. I mean, it was a real puzzle to build, but then again, it was also 1989, and I think Lego hasn't even been around for that long. And then listen to this, the 2002 Jack Stone Super Glider set, which is often called the worst Lego set ever. The glider is just awful, and clearly someone didn't study physics at all. It doesn't support the heavy Jack Stone figure, leading to many frustrating plummets. I mean, does this make sense to you? I don't think so. Now, one of Lego's most successful themes, and we all know it, is the Star Wars theme, and there's no denying it. However, not every single Star Wars battle set hits the mark. I mean, just take a look at the Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader set, based on the showdown in the Kenobi TV series. Released in 2022, this set should have been a slam dunk. I mean, it's fairly new. Instead, though, it's more of a layup that bounces off the rim, rolls around the edge, and then lays in the popcorn of the person sitting courtside right beside you. Because at glance, this set looks like a giant gray slab, which is fitting since the fight takes place on a barren gray field, but it doesn't exactly scream excitement. Some fans have gone so far as to call it the most boring Lego set ever released, and honestly, it's kind of hard to argue with that. And for $50, you get what is essentially a buildable thick gray base plate. I mean, just talk about a letdown for a Lego Star Wars set too. I mean, this set currently has one of the lowest ratings on Brickset, barely scraping it with 3 stars. And look, if this set were a Star Wars character, it'd probably be that one background extra who accidentally walks into the camera shot. On the flip side though, we have the Spider Trike vs. Electro set. With only 70 pieces, that's not that many, there's not much to work with, but even then, this set still feels lazy and lacks brain cells. I mean, just fully. There are no real play features and the design is boring, and on top of that, the name itself is a bit inaccurate. Trikes are supposed to have 3 wheels, right? I mean, think of a tricycle, it's 1 wheel in the front, 2 wheels in the back, but this one clearly has 4. I don't know if someone forgot to count or what's going on. It's just like calling a car a unicycle and hoping no one notices. It makes no sense. Now, Lego's architecture line has been recreating real-world locations in brick form for over 15 years. Some of these sets are stunning, like the San Francisco skyline, but not all architecture sets are winners. The very first architecture set, the Sears Tower from 2008, is a good example of a set that leaves you wanting more. With only 69 pieces and a $20 price tag, it's almost 30 cents per piece, which is about 3 times the normal average for a Lego set. And what do you get for that price? Well, a bunch of basic black bricks that anyone could probably find in their spare parts bin. Sure, I mean, look, it is a cool souvenir if you do visit the tower, but as a standalone set, it's pretty underwhelming. Similarly, the Burj Khalifa set from 2011, which is based on the tallest building in the world, doesn't quite live up to the expectations. Standing 10 inches tall, the set is mostly made up of just 1x1 round bricks, 112 of them to be exact. It's like Lego just ran out of ideas halfway through and decided to stack a bunch of cylinders together and just said, yep, this is what we're gonna do. And unlike the real tower, this set is more boring than breathtaking, and its 3-star rating clearly reflects that. For the Marvel fans out there, let's now take a look at the mighty Captain America shield. Conceptually, Lego has had success with their helmet busts and Thor's hammer, but this just feels like a stretch. It's as if someone said, what if we made a giant Lego disc that can't be worn or thrown and just kind of, you know, sits there looking large. Now look, the execution, to be fair, is decent. It does resemble Captain America's shield with its bright colors and nice shape. But let's be honest, it's just a fragile, oversized frisbee that you won't dare chuck at anyone unless you're keen on cleaning up a million shattered pieces. And then we get to the pricing. For several $100s, you get a bunch of basic colored bricks in the shape of a shield. It's like paying premium prices for a designer bucket of red and white Legos. And as for the build experience, well, if you're into repetitive tasks that make you question your life choices, well, I guess this set is for you. It's a monotonous slog of building the same red and white stripes over and over and over again until you're convinced you've been trapped in the Lego-themed Groundhog Day. Next up, though, we have the Hedwig at 4 Privet Dive set. Now, who doesn't love Harry Potter as much as the next wizard? But this set just isn't it. It's kind of just meh. If that was a set, it'd be this one. It's essentially a remake of a remake, which begs the question, why does this tiny minimalist Hedwig need to exist at all? It feels like Lego was trying to hit some kind of Hedwig quota and thought, hey, let's make a smaller, less impressive version just to add more Hedwig sets out there. The execution is fine, considering it's just a tiny owl with a tiny chest, but the whole concept just feels unnecessary and frankly a bit dumb. For $20, you get a small, quick, and mindless build that leaves you wondering, why didn't you just buy a chocolate frog instead? The whole thing reeks of minimal effort, effort and a dumb concept if you ask me. Like, just get the better version. Moving on, we have the Batman Killer Croc Sewer Smash. Ah yes, another giant Lego vehicle that's mostly empty space. Just what we all needed for our lovely collections. You might have this big, bulky Batman vehicle that, despite its size, is mostly just air. It's like Lego decided to see how little they could actually build while still calling it a set. Lots of tank pieces, lots of teeth, and lots of treads. But the whole thing feels like a waste of potential. The build experience is a tedious affair of linking together small Technic pieces and adding teeth, oh, and more teeth. And for what? A big, dumb, mostly hollow vehicle that might just be a waste of space? I don't know. It's kind of dumb if you ask me. Now, taking a look at the First Order AT-ST, it looks kind of underwhelming. Giving fans an incomplete vehicle build and pretending it's a complete set? Well, brilliant idea, right? Yeah, not so much. Because in the movie, BB-8 drives this thing and the top peels off. But Lego, why not just give us the full AT-ST with a removable top? Instead, we get this half-baked, incomplete version that just feels like a cruel joke. The execution is accurate to the film, sure, but that doesn't make it any less dumb. And then there's the pricing. Charging $40 for an incomplete AT-ST set is ridiculous, especially when the full versions have been sold for even less. This is shrinkflation at its finest, so I guess the economy's not looking so great. The build experience is as incomplete as the set itself, making this dumb concept an even dumber reality. And the more we lower our IQs, the dumbness reaches new heights with the Lego Star Wars Chewbacca. Take everything we said about Captain America's shield earlier and amplify the issues tenfold, and basically right there you've got Chewbacca. It's a Lego Star Wars figure, but it's not a droid, it's a furry Wookiee. Now, why on earth would you try to replicate fur with bricks? That's just asking for trouble. This Chewbacca looks like something out of a Lego horror movie. It's so bad you almost feel sorry for the designers who had to make it. And then there's the price, $200 for this monstrosity. Who in their right mind would pay that kind of money for something that looks like this? The build itself is probably complex, but at what cost? You're left with a hideous Lego Chewbacca and a gaping hole in your wallet. Look, I'll give credit where credit is due. For replicating fur in Lego form, they didn't do too bad of a job. I guess they did the best job they could for what they can do, but just look at this thing's face, man. It says it all. Now, Lego's Unikitty line brings us to Dr. Fox's Magnifying Machine, a set that promises to be a nifty little microscope toy at first glance. It's a creative idea, no doubt about that. But once you start digging into it, you'll realize soon enough that it's not all it's cracked up to be. For starters, it's on the pricier side and isn't exactly easy to track down these days. And let's be honest, what kind of Lego set doesn't include a minifigure? Can you name me one? Instead, they just throw in a pair of flimsy paper glasses that seem more suited for a costume party than a building session. The set also includes 4 plastic tiles that you're supposed to examine under the microscope, but don't get too excited because they're just tiny prints of basic images. Sure, the idea of a Lego microscope is intriguing and kind of a good one, but when the most thrilling part of the experience is wearing goofy paper glasses, you might just start to question your financial choices. And also, where's the minifigure? There's no minifigure! Now look, while there might be a handful of die-hard fans who were eagerly awaiting the Powerpuff Girls themed Lego minifigures, it's still confusing as to why the Lego Powerpuff Girls Bubbles Playground Showdown made it into the Lego lineup. For starters, it doesn't include any of the show's iconic villains, which feels like a missed opportunity since Powerpuff Girls are often known for their villain, Mojo Jojo, the monkey, this guy. Plus, it comes almost pre-assembled, which sort of defeats the whole point of Lego, where they just took all the fun away. Sure, it might be trying to recreate a scene from the beloved Cartoon Network series, but then even again, it's an odd choice of a scene to immortalize in plastic bricks. The Powerpuff Girls reboot didn't exactly set the world on fire per se, so this set feels about as necessary as a screen door on a submarine. Moving on though, to mark the turn of a century, Lego unveiled a colossal 2,882 piece model of the Statue of Liberty. And fast forward to 2024, and this set has become a rare gem in the collector's world, with it being nearly impossible to get at all. However, for all its hype, it doesn't even exactly scream Statue of Liberty when you first lay eyes on it. In fact, it looks more like someone tried to recreate Lady Liberty in 8-bit form, which is a lot less detail and a bit of guesswork. Lego has definitely come a long way since then, and their more recent model of the statue is a significant upgrade. rate, actually resembling the real thing. But this 24-year-old set, despite looking like it was designed by someone who has only seen the Statue of Liberty in a dream, remains a highly coveted piece for collectors, I guess purely because of scarcity and because it's hard to find. Despite the name sounding like it could be a DIY Lego tape recorder, this 2009 Lego Record and Play set was actually a wind-up car with a quirky twist. After building it, users could press a bright red record button on the car's back, trace out a path, and then hit play to watch the car retrace that same route. Kind of a cool idea, right? It's one of those you have to see it to believe it kind of concepts, but apparently not many people did. The product, let's just put it this way, didn't exactly fly off the shelves, likely because Lego's marketing left most people scratching their heads, wondering what on earth even this was supposed to do. Next though, Lego's Mars Mission series was a quirky dive into the world of sci-fi and space exploration, but these kits often took out of this world a bit too literally. The designs were imaginative, sure, but they also left many scratching their heads. The sets included what seemed to be a rocket ship along with a bewildering array of tubes and air pumps that looked more like a plumbing experiment gone wrong than a space adventure. Life on Mars is already a complicated idea as a whole, but Lego somehow managed to make it even more perplexing with this line. It's no wonder these sets didn't exactly skyrocket in popularity. The odd designs might have been a little too alien, get the joke, for average Lego fans. Back in 1987, Lego released their Robot Command Center model. This thing looks like a weird visual trick and leaves you wondering what it's actually supposed to be and what are all those random pieces for. Kids might find a way to make sense of it, I guess, but for the rest of us, it's most likely a head scratcher. Nowadays, if you're into vintage Lego, this set might cost a pretty penny, but look, you're probably better off just forgetting it ever existed. It's not the brightest. Take a look at this though. Remember Jack Stone and his flop glider from earlier? Well, Jack Stone was Lego's big attempt to capture kids' imaginations in the early 2000s with his action-packed adventures. Unfortunately, the enthusiasm for Mr. Stone died pretty quickly and the whole line was dropped not long after. Today, the Jack Stone Bank Breakout set is a bit of a cringeworthy relic from Lego's past. I mean, did Lego really want kids to be getting into bank heists? That wasn't very, smart of them. And they're already super, avoidant of military sets and stuff like that, so I don't understand why they did that. It's kind of like they're contradicting themselves. The Harry Potter universe, though, has been a goldmine for Lego since they snagged the rights in 2001. With impressive sets like the Hogwarts Castle and the Chamber of Secrets, it's been a magical journey for Lego fans. But things took a turn into the bizarre when Goblet of Fire hit the screen, and Lego chose to build the Harry Potter Rescue of the Meerpeople set based on the rather unsettling Meerpeople scene. Seriously, who thought a giant squid and a couple of minifigures made for prime Lego material? It's definitely one of the weirder sets, leaving fans for sure scratching their heads about the choice of source material altogether. Now look, I've mentioned Star Wars multiple times in this list already, but that's only because Lego has churned out an astounding number of Star Wars sets over the past years. One of the more continuous ones was Jabba the Hutt's palace, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows what this set is. Modeled after the first act of Return of the Jedi, the set stirred up quite a fuss among some religious groups who thought the palace resembled a mosque a bit too closely. Okay, now that's a bit crazy, but besides that, how many people were really itching to get their hands on the giant Jabba the Hutt minifigure? Definitely not me. Lego's Time Cruiser series was a quirky collection of sci-fi gadgets that could easily fill this list all on their own. However, among the lineup, there was one set that really stood out for its sheer oddity. It's meant to resemble a time-traveling vehicle, but let's be honest, Back to the Future already did that. This contraption looks more like something the Joker might just whip around for fun, not a time machine. New Lego fans, however, might look at this design and wonder if it's a joke, especially with that baffling propeller. What is that even supposed to do? If we were ever to invent time machines, let's just hope, that they don't look like this. Next, we have the Technic C-3PO set, but it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. If you thought C-3PO looked a bit weird in the movies, well, just check out this version. Instead of his classic gold, he's got a strangely dark and incomplete look, definitely not what you'd expect. This C-3PO has some serious design flaws. I mean, his knees are stiff as a board and his limbs keep falling off, which makes putting him back together a real pain. The one feature that's supposed to be cool is a button that lets you blow up C-3PO, but good luck getting that button to work. With its limited playability and poor reviews, this set is definitely one of the least loved Lego Star Wars sets. In short, it's a bit of a disaster that even the Force couldn't fix. See the joke I did there? Coming up now is the infamous Fire Helicopter Response set from 2020. This set is a train wreck with terrible reviews on the official LEGO site, making it one of the lowest rated ever. It retailed for $30, but came with just 93 pieces, making the price per piece a shocking 32 cents. For context, that's about 3 times more than usual, like what it usually should be. The set's helicopter was built with an oversized single piece that felt more at home in the Juniors or Duplo set. LEGO tried to be innovative with a feature allowing the helicopter to fly after pulling the ripcord, or at least hover for a moment before plummeting to the ground. And you know what else plummeted? Clearly their IQ and their knowledge on physics, because I don't know why they thought that would work. This set did, however, have a really cool and unique rotor blade design similar to the older Ninjago sets, but it turned out to be too heavy to even actually work. Reviewers complained that the helicopter dropped like a rock, leaving them utterly disappointed. I mean, who doesn't want the helicopter that they're buying to actually, you know, be a helicopter and fly? Why don't we just leave the ripcords for the Beyblades? You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, there is the infamous Knights Kingdom 2 from 2004, which introduced a bunch of poorly designed constructible knights. These figures, which were meant to represent mighty warriors, ended up being a letdown due to flimsy cardboard shields that would be bent and fall off easily. So much for being mighty. From LEGO sneaking weapons and food pieces into their sets to using minifigure heads as makeshift pieces, here are 269 IQ LEGO sets that you need to check out. Starting things off with this tiny yet brilliant feature that's appeared in several sets, the Fishbowl. This piece has made notable appearances in the Sesame Street, Cinderella Castle, and Seinfeld sets. And at first glance, you might not realize it, but this fishbowl is actually just a clear minifigure head with a special print on it. This means with just one headpiece, you can transform almost any minifigure into a walking, talking fish. I mean, how cool is that? Moving on, let's talk about Poe Dameron's X-Wing fighter. With only 72 pieces, this polybag set might seem pretty basic, but if you look closely at the back of the ship, you'll notice something special. The engines are the same bright orange as the body, and instead of creating a new piece for this smaller set, the designer Henrik Anderson used the existing LEGO carrot piece. I mean, it's the perfect size, shape, and color, making for a unique carrot-powered X-Wing. And on the topic of carrots, LEGO has a knack for using food pieces in unexpected ways. For instance, the LEGO coin piggy bank from 2015. This functional piggy bank features 148 parts with an adorable face with very expressive hot dog eyebrows. Take a closer look at those eyebrows because you'll notice they're ironically hot dogs on a pig set. Kind of funny. And speaking of hot dogs, they have appeared in other sets too. Take the Wildflower Bouquet set, a vibrant collection with 939 pieces. Deep within this set, you'll find green hot dogs used as flower stems. While the thought of a bright green sausage might be unappetizing and make you think of Shrek, it works perfectly here. This set also includes unique parts like bright blue and green crowns, flame yellow and violet petals, and pink and purple admirals hats. The botanical sets showcase just how versatile LEGO pieces can be, and just look at all the different pieces they can use. Sometimes though, LEGO's creativity lies in repurposing pieces in new ways. In the Pizza Van and Heart Lake shopping mall sets, minifigures enjoy crispy fries. But since LEGO has never made an official fries piece, they used a simple yellow crystal instead. It looks the part, though it might not be the best choice for your teeth. That was a bad joke, I know. One of my favorite details, though, is in the 2021 police station set. The stonework along the roof uses wolf headpieces from the LEGO Minecraft sets, turned upside down to create a unique masonry look. The set also features clever piece usage for the bushes out front. By stacking offset dark green pieces or paint splatter pieces, you get incredible potted plants perfect for minifigure scale. LEGO's Winter Village sets are beloved for capturing the holiday spirit with creativity. The 2010 Winter Village Bakery set with 687 pieces includes a bakery, ice skating rink, ticket counter, horse-drawn carriage, and 7 minifigures. The Christmas lights in this set are simple but effective, made with rope, clips, and transparent studs. A similar design appears in the Elf Clubhouse set from 2020, but with holders and globes instead of clips and studs, giving it a slightly different look. Still pretty interesting. And the LEGO Bonsai Tree and Ship in a Bottle sets are fantastic display pieces with a unique building step. At one point, you're asked to use a few hundred pieces to actually build the set, which might seem daunting, but it's actually just dumping a bag of studs in place. Now, these might be some of LEGO's most piece-intensive steps, but they're also among the easiest. I mean, you're quite literally putting your hand in a bag, grabbing all the pieces, and just dumping it in a bottle that you built. The LEGO Globe set is another standout, both functional and technical. Designing a spherical LEGO set is of course no easy task, but designer Samuel Johnson managed it by turning the sphere into a series of flat segments to be folded together, like peeling an orange in reverse. So this build includes an unexpected addition, a set of wheels used as extra weight to keep the globe resting in the perfect display position. Seriously, I don't know how this dude thought to use wheels. Moving on though, we got the 2021 Medieval Blacksmith. This set makes a heavy use of angled tile pieces to create what might be the best looking roof LEGO has ever produced. While this technique isn't as groundbreaking as some of the other ones, the result is still stunning nonetheless. And it's pretty creative too. But next, let's talk about the Garmadon's Dark Fortress from Ninjago, one of my all-time favorite sets. The skeleton-themed spider attached to the fortress isn't just a decoration. Using a simple yet clever technique, pressing a red button on the back launches the spider off the fortress wall, surprising any approaching ninja. The set also includes a coffin that pops open to reveal a skeleton, adding to the spooky play features. Regardless though, it's pretty cool and creative how they just managed to make this giant spider just fly at you. And right here, we've got the 2012 Monster Fighters theme, particularly the Vampire Castle set. This set, with 949 pieces and 7 minifigures, is packed with spooky details you'd expect to find in any creepy old castle. Although the organ upstairs looks really cool, the real highlights here are the intense play features that the set comes with. For instance, the dangerous spikes at the front gate are designed to impale unsuspecting minifigures. The most gruesome feature is the spiked pit at the bottom of one of the towers. Made up of a single 4x4 round brick and 12 white talons, this pit is straight out of a horror movie. And above it is a small stand holding a treasure map, making it a treacherous trap for anyone attempting to steal Lord Vampire's treasure. All you gotta do is just pull a black cone piece and the minifigure plummets into the spikes. Yikes. But it is pretty creative. Also, by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Subscribe right now. Ninjago sets are known for their playability, and the Epic Dragon Battle set from 2012 is no exception. This set comes with 2 impressive beasts, but the standout feature is the Great Devourer Serpent. Open its mouth and you'll see it's the perfect size for a minifigure. Kind of interesting, right? Well, this serpent can actually swallow an unsuspecting ninja whole. It's kind of crazy how they made a dragon, minifigure size for his mouth. You get what I'm saying. A similar play feature though can be found in the 2016 Carbon Freezing Chamber set. This build is a great recreation of the iconic scene from Star Wars. Place Han Solo on the stand, turn the dial, and watch as he disappears only to reappear frozen in carbonite and ready for transport by everybody's favorite bounty hunter, Boba Fett. It's kind of similar how this feature was used multiple times, similar ways. But let's not talk about Professor Snape, the best character from Harry Potter. This iconic character has appeared in no fewer than 15 LEGO sets over the years and has undergone some significant changes. In the early 2000s, Snape had a glow-in-the-dark head and a unique trait for minifigures at the time. This version of Snape appeared in 4 earlier Harry Potter sets, including Snape's Classroom and the first version of Hogwarts Castle. While it is a bit strange, the glow-in-the-dark head matched his pale on-screen appearance quite well. But by 2007, LEGO decided to do away with this feature, possibly due to confusion or cut costs or whatever it may be. And nowadays, Snape blends in with the rest of the minifigures. But which version of Snape do you like the most, and which one do you think was the most creative? I mean, one of the strangest villains ever to appear in a LEGO set is Batman's lesser-known nemesis, the Condiment King. I'm gonna say that again, the Condiment King. The Egghead Mech Food Fight set from the LEGO Batman movie line features the Condiment King armed with stud shooters representing ketchup and mustard. Although it is a humorous play feature, I'm not sure how effective mustard would be against Batman. I don't know. A unique play feature though does come from the 2010 Dropshit set from the Hero Factory line. While the Hero Factory sets aren't as hyped as many others, this set does something really cool. The dropship can attach to and carry the plastic cases the figures come in, allowing for you to drop your heroes into battle whenever you want. It's a very innovative feature that I haven't seen in any other set yet, so if I missed anything, just let me know in the comments. The LEGO movies gave us some incredible sets packed with big brain features, but one that stands out is the Shimmer and Shine Sparkle Spa set. This set might look bland at first, but it is designed entirely around play. On the far left, there is the revolving wall that allows Balthazar to instantly transform into his batsuit. And the weirdest feature though, it's on the far right, a hot tub. Nothing unusual about that, right? Well, there is a clear lever that, when pulled, flushes whoever it is in the hot tub out. Pretty strange, but I guess it's quite amusing. And speaking of flushing, the Ninjago City Market set features a sushi bar with a working toilet. Flush it and anything left inside is dumped right into the river below. Not exactly eco-friendly, I guess you could say, but it is a neat feature and pretty fun to fidget around with. I mean, if you're bored, you just play around with this thing. Kind kind of fun. Next up, however, we have the Spider-Man Web Warriors Ultimate Bridge Battle Set. Wow, that's a long name. On one end of the bridge, there is a small green trash can sitting on top of a catapult. And with a flick, you can just launch the trash can into the middle of the battle, making a mess if it's full. So make sure to fill up the trash can. But one of the most unique and creative play features comes from the 2014 Creator Rainforest Animals set. The main build is a parrot, a frog, and a fly, but the parrot can eat small pellets. Lift up its tail and the pellets come falling out the bottom. It's anatomically correct, though a bit gross. I mean, you have a pooping parrot, but you get it. The Jurassic Park Triceratops research set from 2023 features a massive brick-built pile of dinosaur droppings. Why? Bro, what is the obsession with one of the minifigures comes with a shovel to dig through the droppings and find the cause of the Triceratops' illness, poisonous berries. It's a bit gross, again, but fun in detail, I guess. But all right. The grossest play feature, though, comes from the Paranormal Intercept bus from the Hidden Side series. This set includes a porta potty that transforms into a monster. And guess what? It shoots brown 2x2 tiles. Well, representing, we're not talking about anymore. Let's just move on. Let's just talk about the A-frame cabin set. At first glance, this charming build seems straightforward, but it's packed with some fascinating secrets. It's full of incredible details like a spider hiding in the attic, 21-karat stems in the trees to represent bare branches, and a minimal yet genius outdoor shower. But the real surprise lies in the stones on the front of the cabin. Believe it or not, those stones are actually made from 18 Thor hammer pieces. Yeah, they're made from 18 different Thor hammers. It seems like LEGO has a knack for incorporating powerful weapons into their sets in subtle ways, I guess. Speaking of hidden weapons, though, LEGO has been sneaking plastic blasters into various sets for years, not just in Marvel and Star Wars sets. Take the Indiana Jones River Chase set from 2008, for example. While the machine gun up front is obvious, the gas can on the back of the trunk has a handle made from a revolver piece. Mixing a gun with gasoline might not be the best idea, but then again, I'm not Indiana Jones. And no, it's not just Indiana Jones sets with these hidden little surprises. The Penguin Arctic roller set from the LEGO Batman movie has some sneaky design choices as well. If you take a closer look at the exhaust pipes under the front fender, you'll see that each one is a gun. Plus, the fish missiles on either side of the car are a fun touch that adds to the set's charm as well. So you know what? Hats off to that. Moving on to the massive Daily Bugle set, one of the largest LEGO Marvel sets on the market. It's packed with a bunch of Easter eggs for fans. And I mean a bunch. The set has been well documented and discussed, of course, but there is one small detail that often can get overlooked: the taxi. In a 2-foot tall set with 25 minifigures, the small yellow cab might not be the highlight for most people. However, the exhaust port on this car is actually a gun piece. Again, a gun piece. And yet another hidden gem in this build is the bird's nest resting comfortably on an air conditioner near the top. The nest is made from a part that first appeared on the Kraven the Hunter minifigure in the Spider-Man Web Warriors Ultimate Bridge Battle set, as I mentioned earlier. This fur collar piece has since been used as a bird's nest in 3 other sets: the Daily Bugle, the Bookshop, and the Harry Potter Newt's Case of Magical Creatures. So basically, what I'm trying to say is Kraven the Hunter's, neck piece is just really a bird's nest now. Now, the LEGO City sets might be smaller and simpler, but they still have some incredible design choices. Take the Mobile Police Dog training set, for example. The policeman in the training suit has arms that might look familiar. They're the exact same arms, actually, as the Cactus Girl from the collectible minifigure series 18, just in a different color to represent the bite suit for the dog trainer. That's honestly really creative from LEGO. I mean, that's really smart. That's like 1,000 IQ. The LEGO Ninjago Green Energy Dragon set also features some unique parts. Underneath the saddle, there are 2 large black pieces that don't look like typical LEGO bricks. Well, that's because they're actually LEGO Big Fig arms, the same kind used in the Gorilla Grodd Goes Banana set as the titular character's arms. Speaking of cars, though, the Ferrari F8 Tribito set has a clever use of stud shooters as tailpipes. And these bad boys can actually shoot studs too, making the sports car even more impressive for a LEGO set. But let's move on to another vehicle with a neat trick, and that's the LEGO Ducati set. The windshield is a unique transparent light plastic piece that doesn't hold its own shape, so the set uses 2 round katanas to keep it in place. Kind of interesting with that one. But next up is the Paranormal Intercept bus from the Hidden Side theme. This bus has paint rollers holding up the side mirrors and a golden unicorn horn for a hood ornament. Paint rollers also appear in the app control transformation vehicle set as it controls the cockpit. And look, these sets just show you how versatile LEGO pieces can really be. Santa's Visit from 2021 is another great addition to the Winter Village line. These sets always come with great details and genius part usage. Nearly all of the greenery around the windows on this house is made up from green claw pieces found on minifigures like Wolverine and various Ninjago characters. The set also includes a trumpet under the tree, which, while not exactly to scale, it's a neat little construction. So, do you remember the red and green hot dogs that I discussed earlier? Well, the Jazz Club set uses yellow sausages as part of the sign, while the Bookshop set features black sausages around the base of the trees. I don't get what the obsession is. I guess they're just trying to save costs. The Crocodile Locomotive set also uses these pieces on the front and back of the train. But another clever part usage in the Crocodile Locomotive set is also the red whip pieces used as cables. These red whips, though, are quite rare, appearing in only 4 sets, including the Razor Crest and the Ninjago City Garden set. But it's pretty interesting how they have 2 little cool techniques going on with this one. Now, the Lady Liberty Brickhead set uses a lipstick piece to attach the golden flame to her iconic torch, showing that even a statue can look glamorous. The Ray the Castaway set features an SOS sign made up with snake heads, adding a wild touch to the deserted island scene. And the Grand Emporium set from 2010 uses minifigure capes and a bendy Technic tube to create curtains for a changing room. I mean, that's a unique and practical solution. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with snakes, but the curtain changing room thing, that's kind of smart. I like that one. Now, this one is something I remember growing up with. Lego Mixels, especially the Glorp Corp, use a slimy and translucent pieces in creative ways. Characters like Torts, Glomp, and Ribble featured pieces representing slime, drool, and snot, respectively. While it might be a bit gross, sure, it's also genius in its execution, and it looks really good. Like, it's pretty creative. Up next, the Office set includes a globe in Michael's office that looks like a detailed minifigure head. Now, despite having an actual globe piece out there, LEGO opted for the smaller, more fitting scale. The LEGO designer's ingenuity never ceases to amaze me, or I guess anyone else, with their clever part usage found in every corner of their sets. Again, I'm not sure why they didn't just use the globe piece and they had to use a minifigure head with the print on it, but I mean, I guess there's a reason behind it, right? Let's move on though with the Speed Champions McLaren Elva set from 2021. This 263 piece set boasts a sleek design, but the most interesting detail is actually hidden at the back. In step 26 of the instructions, you'll find that the tail lights are created using translucent red ox heads, or axe? Ox? Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but I mean, look at this. This is pretty interesting how they use that with the car. But the McLaren Elva isn't the only Speed Champion set with hidden blades. One of my favorite cars, the Koenigsegg Jesko set, also features some clever weaponry. In step 53, you'll find a slime green minifigure cleaver, which is quite an unusual and rare color for this piece. And of course, look, like I said, LEGO has a long history of sneaking weapons into their car builds. I'm not sure why, but they just do. So take a look at another Ferrari set, the Ferrari F40 Creator set from 2015. And I mean, look, the F40 is a really, it's a classic car. But the engine block of this set includes 4 LEGO revolver pieces on each side, making it, one pretty powerful engine. But clever part usage isn't limited to just supercars, because let's check out Ninjago's Thunder Raider set. In steps 44 and 45, you'll find 4 transparent blue popsicle pieces, giving the engine a fantastic sci-fi look. I mean, again, your engine is literally running on blue popsicle pieces. I'm not sure what else to say. Now, the Crystal King from Ninjago is another character full of clever tricks. If you look closely at his face, you'll see his eyes are pink cow horns, and he has a black sausage for his unibrow. Now, what does this remind me of? Oh, right, the Lego piggy bank with the hot dog eyebrows. Again, with the sausage use, LEGO, I don't know why you keep doing it. And if you're enjoying these clever LEGO details, again, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications too, and even share the video with a friend if you think they'll enjoy it. But now, let's talk about the popular LEGO Friends theme, because they've been quietly doing some amazing things with their sets. For example, the Botanical Garden set is a prime example, featuring sand green claws as bushes, a broom and horn as a flower petal, and of course a red hedgehog shoulders as a spiky plant. A red hedgehog is a plant. I guess it works. And with this thing right here, green minifigure paint palettes are used as lily pads actually, and eggshells serve as flowers. The mini bonsai tree even includes pink frogs as flowers, mimicking the larger LEGO bonsai set perfectly. And in front of Emma's art school, there is also a bush made from a dyed green minifigure afro. Simple yet brilliant, I guess. So no clown or no afro, just a green bush. And next up, let's look at the iconic Mickey and Minnie Mouse set from 2020. I don't know why I said it like that. This one 1,739 piece set is a must-have for any cartoon collector. While the build is straightforward, there is one clever detail: the noses. Both Mickey and Minnie's noses are actually blank black minifigure heads with the black minifigure space helmets on top of them. And look, minifigure heads are actually incredibly versatile and have been used for everything from light bulbs to fish bowls. I mean, we've covered some of it already. But one standout use is the transparent blue Minecraft Steve head, which has only appeared in 3 sets: Captain Carter and the Hydra Stomper and the Sanctum Sanctorum, each time representing the Tesseract. So Steve from Minecraft, his head is just painted blue and it represents the Tesseract from Marvel. Kind of interesting. Moving on, we've got the Ghostbusters set that features some neat little constructions. The Firehouse headquarters and the Ecto 1 and Ecto 2 sets include cleverly built proton packs. These backpacks are essential for our Ghostbuster heroes and showcase the creativity of LEGO designers. I mean, just look at how creatively they put these unique backpacks together for each one of them. But returning to the topic of weapons in unusual places once again, the Snowtrooper Battle Pack's turret legs are made from 3 guns serving as a tripod. And look, if the Snowtroopers ever needed backup, they can always salvage parts from the turret. Now, in the Emperor's Throne Room diorama set, you'll find genius little solutions like the giant round window behind the Emperor. Creating round shapes in LEGO is always a challenge, of course, but the designers nailed it using rectangular windows attached to Technic hoses. And hidden under the floor, there's a spot to store Palpatine's Force Lightning, allowing you to recreate any scene from the film. Man, you gotta hand it to the LEGO engineers. The Galaxy Explorer set is perfect for space adventures too. Near the rear, white arrows are cleverly created by slipping tiles into a gap. The airlock door slides back and forth, and extending the landing pad lets the rover drive out on its own adventure. So, LEGO sets are typically analog toys, right? Well, occasionally they do include special features like light bricks, which I think adds a pretty cool touch to LEGO sets, like, you know, the light up bricks or whatever. Well, 2 versions of Hagrid's hut have a light brick to illuminate the fireplace, giving a cozy glow. And I don't know about you, the light up Legos, they're pretty cool. But the Ninjago Lighthouse Siege and Creator Lighthouse Point sets use light bricks functionality as well, while the massive motorized lighthouse includes multiple lights too. The best use of a light brick though is in the Ultimate Batmobile set. This set includes a Bat Signal sub build with a light brick, allowing you to summon the Caped Crusader anytime you want. And I think that one looks the coolest. I mean, just like, look at that. That's such a cool little detail. Now, take the Shrimp Shack attack from the Hidden Side theme as another example. This set is quite unique though, with the crawfish build featuring 2 neat surprises. First, its antennae are made using 2 whip pieces, which would work perfectly here. And second, its feet are actually made from 2 red minifigure diving fins. Whoever came up with this, honestly, hats off to you. You're a genius. Now, here's another clever piece used in the Fright Train set. While it isn't actually on the train itself, the electric car charging station features a power cable that's just another whip piece once again. This isn't the only time a whip piece has been used to power up a vehicle either. And the tricycle from the LEGO Movie 2 uses a whip again for the hose that fuels up the 3-wheel menace at the gas pump. There's even a little Easter egg with the Octan sticker and a nod to the go-to gas station in every LEGO city, showing that they survived the apocalypse. But wait, there's another style of whip element that can be found in odd places. These coiled whips are actually a bit rarer, originally used in the older Indiana Jones sets, but have started making their way into other themes slowly. In the recent Bouquet of Roses set, LEGO introduced a new version of these red whips used to create a perfect center swirl for a few of the flowers. And these same coiled whips, although in black, also appear in the 2021 Winnie the Pooh set, where a single whip is used to create an elaborate holder for a doorbell by the front door, capturing the look of the old cartoon perfectly. And look, while we're in the 100-acre woods, check out another neat construction in this set. It's a small snail made out of cherries and a little dookie piece. It may sound like an odd combination, but LEGO makes it work somehow, and it's quite adorable too. Sometimes though, a LEGO element pulls double duty. Some parts are used so frequently for something other than their official design that it's hard to imagine that they weren't created for this new role at all. For example, this Wolverine's Claw accessories has been used as whiskers on at least 3 separate cat builds. So whenever you look at these cat builds right here, just understand that, you know, their whiskers are Wolverine's claws. Fun fact. But perhaps the greatest use is in the Boost Creative Toolbox set from 2017, which includes instructions on how to build 5 unique machines, including a cat. And the final build may be a bit of a mess, but the wings behind the whiskers add a nice touch of extra fluff to the face. You know what I'm saying? And next, we have more weapons being used in different LEGO sets. On the back of the AT-AT set from 2010, revolvers are used once again as extra details, while on the front, a hammer and shovel are part of the forward blasters. It's not just offense weapons though that LEGO sneaks in, but also defensive ones, I guess. pieces. Now, check out something special in the 3-in-1 Creator Cool convertible set. This 648 piece build from 2008 includes 2 katanas used as windshield wipers. That's actually pretty creative. Wipers have blades and katanas have blades, or katanas are a blade. So yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense, and it looks pretty clean too. But speaking of blades, the Detective's Office set makes a really innovative use of Lego components. Several gray Unikitty tails on the building's roof give the normally gray and blocky rooftop a wonderful rounded appearance. Downstairs though, the ceiling fan over the pool table below is a custom design that uses 4 minifigure snowshoes for the fan blades. Never thought I'd see that though, I'll be honest. The Speed Champions Lotus is also a slick looking set. But the really interesting thing on it is the back. Spoiler alert, it's the spoiler, which is just a green snowboard piece placed upside down. You know, it's a pretty clever design. And of course, we cannot forget the fact that Lego loves using headpieces for their sets. Check out the Orient Express set, which hides a few unexpected pieces. On the engine, there are 2 round blue pieces that look familiar and out of place. These are literally minion heads, but dyed in dark blue. Again, these are minion heads. Yes, minions like this thing right here, but dyed in dark blue, like they're overalls or their whole body. It might be unsettling at first, but I mean, hey, it works. So the next time I see this set, I'll just be thinking of Minions. But another set that cleverly uses minifigure heads is the Hogwarts Chamber of Secrets. For the first time, these sculptures in this set are actually Pyro Viper heads from the Ninjago series, but now they're in gray and green. It's a cool way to repurpose those pieces for sure, don't you think? But one of the most innovative uses of parts in the Harry Potter set has to be the Hungarian Horntail build. They've used a pair of handcuffs on Harry's broomstick as leg support. I mean, that's pretty genius. The Insect Collection set is also full of unique parts and building techniques. One standout is the egg piece used as a bee, and another unique piece is the sand green revolvers used as legs, a rare color for Lego. The most genius technique in this set is underneath the beetle, where 2 white croissant pieces represent grubs or larvae. The Mooncake Factory from Lego Monkey Kid is a clever set as well, because it features 2 rabbits piloting a rabbit-shaped spaceship with an escape craft and a carrot obsession with carrot rockets, carrot satellite dishes, and carrot powered blasters. However, the 2023 NASA Mars rover set might just be the last place you'd ever expect to find fruits or veggies, yet it includes a single white carrot as a part of the sensor array. And this piece has only been seen in 3 other sets, including the Lion Knight's castle. And last but not least, bananas. Lego loves bananas, and traditionally the yellow fruit appears in hundreds of sets in dozens of colors, often as something other than a banana, of course. For example, light gray bananas are used for detailing on the front of a Corvette.
From Lego having an obsession with hands to using carrots in over 200 sets, here are a bunch of Lego's weird obsessions. Starting off with the Lego Infinity Gauntlet set 76191. This iconic piece launched in 2021 and instantly became the golden child of Lego's hand builds. Representing Thanos' legendary gauntlet from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's a perfect blend of geeky fandom and sophisticated display art. Seriously, who wouldn't want a shiny gold glove with the power of the universe right on their shelf? The set is made up of 590 pieces that combine to form a striking golden gauntlet adorned with 6 infinity stones, each as vibrant as the emotions they represent. With posable fingers, you can recreate the snap, minus the pesky side effect of erasing half the universe. It's all about fun, not galactic consequences. Fans love its intricate design and how closely it mirrors the movie prop. Whether you're a die-hard Marvel fan or just someone who enjoys a good display piece with flair, this set is a shining star. Plus, it's a great way to remind people not to mess with you. Subtle, but effective. Moving on to another gauntlet, the Lego Nano Gauntlet from set 76223. Released in 2022, takes its cues from Iron Man's heroic moment in Avengers Endgame. It's essentially the Infinity Gauntlet's sibling sharing the same flair for cosmic bling, but with a fresh coat of Iron Man-inspired red and silver. With 675 pieces, it's a touch more complex than its predecessor and comes decked out with the 6 Infinity Stones, ready for any endgame or shelf display. However, not everyone was snapping their fingers in delight. Fans were quick to point out that the Nano Gauntlet, despite its slight redesign and new colors, carried the same $70 price tag as the Infinity Gauntlet. For many, it felt like paying premium prices for what was essentially a glorified paint job. Still, if you're a die-hard Tony Stark fan, this gauntlet makes a fitting tribute to his ultimate sacrifice. sacrifice. And let's face it, red and silver do look pretty sleek on a shelf. Next up is, yep, you guessed it, another gauntlet. The LEGO Wolverine's Adamantium Claws from set 76250, released in 2023, veers away from the typical gauntlet vibe and hones in on Wolverine's signature claws. It's a fresh concept in theory, but retains much of the same structure as the hand-themed predecessors. Built from 596 pieces, the claws sport a neutral gray color scheme to reflect their metallic adamantium finish. Instead of a full glove or gauntlet, you get a sleek design showcasing 3 oversized claws ready for slicing, or at least posing. While the idea of Wolverine's claws intrigued fans, the execution sparked mixed reviews. Without the vibrant colors or eye-catching gems that define the gauntlets, this set feels a bit muted as a display piece. Some collectors found it repetitive, calling it Infinity Gauntlet but make it gray. That said, it's still a must-have for Marvel enthusiasts who can't resist a slice of X-Men history. Maybe keep your expectations at claw level. Now, why repetition? For one, the Infinity Gauntlet was a hit, so LEGO likely thought if it ain't broke, just change the color. Reusing molds and instructions also cuts production costs, letting them churn out variations efficiently. Plus, these are aimed at collectors who might want their shelves to look like a Marvel prop museum. It's a smart business move, even if it risks some fans' fatigue. If you're into Marvel or just love hands, we don't judge. These sets are hard to resist. Now, we're not done with Marvel just yet, so let's talk about a LEGO piece with some serious range. Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, or as LEGO likes to play it cool, the Sledgehammer. First introduced in 2012 with Marvel Thor sets, this mighty piece has managed to sneak into all kinds of non-Thor adventures. Apparently, it's not just a weapon for smiting gods, but also great for castle building and interior design. You'll find this hammer popping up in Monster Fighter sets as part of zombie and vampire castles, in Assembly Square doing double duty as stonework, and even lending itself to quirky appearances in Ninjago, Steamboat Willie, and DC sets like Harley Quinn's dorm. It's also hidden inside the UCS Star Destroyer and hanging out as an exterior decor in the A-frame cabin. Who knew Mjolnir had a flair for architecture? And fun fact, the versatile little hammer has appeared in 45 sets, with nearly half of those having nothing to do with Thor or Marvel. Turns out, even LEGO knows Mjolnir is too cool to be tied down to one universe. Thor might not approve, but your LEGO collection definitely will. When it comes to LEGO superheroes, Batman doesn't just lead the pack, he owns the pack. With appearances in a whopping 376 sets and boasting 92 unique minifigure designs, the Dark Knight has cemented himself as LEGO's undisputed champion of Caped Crusaders. From the LEGO Batman movie to DC superhero sets and even themed keychains, Batman is literally everywhere. At this point, he's probably hanging out in your sock drawer too. For context, Spider-Man, the runner-up, shows up only half as much, and Superman, the poor guy, is trailing behind at just 1/8 of Batman's numbers. Clearly, Gotham's protector knows how to work the licensing game. A big boost came from the LEGO Batman movie, which didn't just add to his fame, but practically bat-cemented his position as LEGO's most licensed superhero. And let's be real, who doesn't want a tiny, brooding Batman minifig glaring at them from their desk? The Bat's LEGO dominance proves once and for all he doesn't need superpowers, just excellent branding, and, you know, $1 million. But moving on with the Millennium Falcon, the iconic ship has been a staple of the LEGO Star Wars lineup since 2000. The first version came with 641 pieces. LEGO wasn't satisfied with just that. They've released a staggering 29 different versions, including 2 Ultimate Collector Series or UCS models, one in 2007 with a massive 5,174 pieces, and another in 2017 that took it up a notch with 7,541 pieces. For the collectors who prefer something smaller, there are mini versions, including those in advent calendars and microfighters. Let's not forget the quirky special edition Escape the Space Slug set from 2016, coming in at fewer than 10 pieces but packing in a lot of fun. This ship's legacy is undeniable, always getting updated and re-released, keeping it as one of the most coveted LEGO Star Wars sets. Then there's Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator, which despite having limited screen time in The Phantom Menace, has had a surprisingly robust LEGO presence. Since its debut, it has appeared in 10 versions, including microfighters, advent calendar builds, and the 2024 model. Turns out, Darth Maul's popularity has ensured that his ship, although he's a supporting player in the films, gets all the love in LEGO form. Pretty funny how a little bit of screen time can lead to a whole lot of building. Now, let's talk about the LEGO Blaster. Both the standard and long versions, released back in 2007, it quickly became a staple in LEGO Star Wars sets. This blaster has appeared in a total of 261 sets, making it a reliable sidekick in the brick-built galaxy. The blaster comes in several colors including black, flat silver, pearl dark gray, and white. While the black version is a standard choice, the white version is a bit of a rarity, having made a brief appearance in the 2019 Advent Calendar and the Imperial Transport set. If you ever find one of those white versions in your collection, consider it a special prize, like a hidden gem in a LEGO treasure hunt. Speaking of weapons, the LEGO Katana is a piece that's almost synonymous with the Ninjago theme, having appeared in a whopping 320 sets over the years in various colors and styles. If you're familiar with the more recent designs, you'll recognize the square guard with holes that's been the standard for over a decade now. But did you know that the Katana's earlier versions had octagonal guards? These first appeared in 1998 during the short-lived Ninja line, which was a bit ahead of its time in the sword department. Though most of the Katana's appearances are in Ninjago sets, making up 255 of those 320 sets, it's managed to sneak its way into some unexpected places as well. You'll spot it in Disney sets like Mulan's Training Day, in Mixels looking very different in the Spinza set, and even in Technic sets like the Ducati set. With such a diverse range of appearances, this little sword packs a punch in LEGO's design arsenal, proving that even a simple katana can cross into different worlds. From ninja training to motorcycle racing, who knew a sword could be so versatile? Next up, let's dive into the world of LEGO Frogs, a surprisingly versatile little critter in the LEGO universe. The first frog, a translucent green one, made its debut in 1994 as part of the Belleville Line's Queen's Room, which may have possibly been a frog or a disguised prince, depending on your imagination. Fast forward to 2012, and frogs hopped into a more functional role with the Kingdom's Joust set, where they went from just being cute to actually serving a purpose in builds. Today, frogs are all over the place in LEGO sets, showing up in some rather unexpected colors like pearl gold, magenta, and even translucent shades. One notable appearance was in the Lion Knight's castle from 2022, where it's cleverly tucked under a medieval toilet because, of course, who wouldn't want a frog chilling in a castle's bathroom? Some signature sets really lean into their amphibian charm. For instance, in the Bonsai Tree, 101 frogs, which are mostly pink, are used to mimic cherry blossoms. And in the Lion Dance, frogs in 3 colors adorn dragon ears and gate decorations. They even make appearances in the Ninjago City, where green frogs are animals and yellow and pearl gold frogs are hidden details waiting to be discovered. LEGO designer Nick Voss is especially known for his frog-friendly creations, particularly in the Ninjago and Creator Expert sets. He's made the frog not just a cute add-on, but a key player in creating some of the most creative and eye-catching designs. So the next time you spot a frog in your build, no, it's not just a decoration, it's part of a much bigger and possibly hoppier story. Fire trucks are practically a staple in the LEGO world, with at least 172 different sets featuring these iconic vehicles as of 2024. The journey began way back in 1946 with wooden fire trucks, followed by the Bedford fire engine in 1958. It wasn't until 1964 that LEGO introduced the first brick-built fire truck, signaling the start of a long tradition. Since then, LEGO fire trucks have evolved from simple, modest 170-piece builds in the 1960s to much more intricate, highly detailed designs we see today, especially in the city theme. LEGO's fire trucks have become so ubiquitous that they've appeared in nearly every iteration of its city and town lines, with the company continuously tweaking and improving them to keep them fresh and exciting. So whether you're battling a blaze or just driving around town, LEGO fire trucks have been there to help save the day one brick at a time. Now, is it just me, or are you guys itching for a snack too? LEGO bananas may not be edible, but they sure do pack a lot of creative punch. These yellow fruits have been featured in all kinds of sets, often used in the most unexpected ways. Think about horns, eyebrows, and even quirky creature features. But here's the twist. LEGO has taken the humble banana and given it a colorful makeover. While the standard yellow version is a classic, you can also find it in teal, red, gold, and the ultra-rare white banana, which only appeared in 2 sets, the Lion's Dance and Brickhead's Ghost. Bananas aren't just for minifigs to snack on either. In The Legend of Neon, teal bananas are used for decorative eyes, while in Kung Fu Battle, red bananas make an appearance in a Minion-themed set. But let's not forget the real star, the Banana Guy. This beloved Foom-themed minifigure has sparkled a whole line of plushies and keychains, proving that sometimes even a plastic banana can be the breakout star of a collection. The LEGO Carrot Piece might not be the first thing you think of when you're looking for iconic bricks, but it's been surprisingly versatile since its debut in 1999. Available in 7 colors across 252 sets, this little orange gem has taken on some unexpected roles roles. Take Poe's X-Wing for example. Who knew 4 orange carrots could serve as thrusters on a starfighter? Or in the Banshee fight set where they glow in the dark as eerie plants. Not to mention the quirky weapons and tools it doubles as in Minecraft's Arena, where pearl gold carrots are used as weapons, and Ambush in Cairo where brown carrots are wielded as clubs. And just when you thought you knew all there was to know about LEGO carrots, the collectible minifigure series brings them back for more fun roles. The carrot has become almost a mascot of sorts, showing up in Series 22's Horse Girl, Series 23's Snowman, and even in Series 24 as the carrot mascot. It turns out the humble carrot isn't just for rabbits, it's the unsung hero of LEGO sets everywhere. Now, LEGO sausages, yes, sausages, are surprisingly one of the most versatile pieces in the LEGO world. While they might seem like a simple, quirky addition to your brick collection, these little guys have played a variety of roles and builds. For one, they make excellent wildflower stems, adding a bit of nature to your creations. They can also serve as expressive eyebrows on animal faces or even characters, giving them a little extra personality. When it comes to structural support, sausages have been used in iconic builds like the Eiffel Tower. Talk about a hot dog with some serious architectural chops. And let's not forget the novelty used in the T-Rex Breakout set, where they're used as hot dog bait to lure dinosaurs. No kidding. As for colors, sausages come in everything from the classic red to more exotic shades like metallic silver and dark green, adding an interesting pop to any set. And of course, who could forget their debut in LEGO Series 13 collectible minifigures, where a sausage costume was the highlight of the set, forever cementing the humble sausage as an iconic part of the LEGO culture. So next time you see one, just remember, it's not just a sausage, it's a multi-purpose LEGO masterpiece. Next up is the LEGO Cherry Piece, which was first introduced in 1998. It has made its way into 229 sets over the years and is easily recognized in 4 vibrant colors: red, lime, magenta, and dark pink. It made its debut in the Scala line, remember that? Before showing up in Belleville Fairy Tale sets, which gave it that first dash of magical charm. The Cherry True Star moment came in 2004 with Harry Potter's Shrieking Shack set, where it added a sweet touch to the scene. Beyond its early appearances, this little cherry also made a cameo as Gary the Snail's Eyes in SpongeBob SquarePants Adventures in Bikini Bottom, which is as quirky as it sounds. Fast forward to today, and it's a favorite in Friends and Animal Crossing sets, often used as a decorative flourish. And here's a fun tidbit: its rise to prominence kind of aligns with the launch of Friends in 2014, which makes you wonder if those cherries are secretly a symbol of LEGO's sweet spot for popular sets. The LEGO pizza elements have been a delightful slice of LEGO history since their debut in 1994 with the Pizza To Go set. Over the years, they've appeared in over 10 pizza-themed sets, like the Pizza Planet Truck Rescue from Toy Story, Bricktober Pizza Place in 2002, and the exclusive Antonio's Pizzarama set released at New York Comic Con in 2012. It's safe to say LEGO knows how to serve up a tasty build. The pizza-themed world includes around 75 unique pizza-related pieces, such as 2x2 pizza box tiles, round pizza tiles, and pizza slices perfect for minifigures. And let's not forget the pizza-loving minifigures like the iconic pizza costume guy from Series 19, who really takes the idea of slice of life to a whole new level. And if you're craving a rare slice, the Comic-Con exclusive pizza slice set is one for collectors. And if you're craving a rare slice, the Comic-Con exclusive pizza slice set is one for collectors, valued at around $2,500. Now that's what I call cheesy, in the best possible way, of course. The LEGO coffee mug is truly a piece of LEGO history. Since its debut in 1979, it's appeared in a whopping 841 sets, spanning 11 colors. It first made its appearance in the bathroom and snack bar sets from the Town line, marking the start of a long and caffeinated journey. The coffee mug became especially common after LEGO Cities 2006 reboot, making regular appearances in sets. These mugs aren't just found in everyday builds either. They've popped up in everything from Friends sets to iconic Batman themes like the Batcave. It seems LEGO really knows how to make sure no one has to suffer through a build without their caffeine fix. And here's a fun fact: Denmark, the birthplace of LEGO, happens to be the world's 4th largest coffee consumer, so it makes sense that a coffee mug would become one of LEGO's most iconic pieces. After all, a good build is always better with a good cup of coffee. The LEGO Candle Piece Part 37762 has really lit up the scene since its debut in 2018. It first appeared in 3 Harry Potter sets: Aragog's Lair, Hogwarts Great Hall, and Hogwarts Whomping Willow. But its popularity quickly grew from there. By 2024, it had appeared in a staggering 48 sets, with the number climbing year after year. In 2023 alone, it showed up in 83 sets, lighting up everything from Hogwarts to the Dubai skyline. Its uses are creatively diverse. It's not just for candles anymore. In Aurora's Forest Cottage, it functions as a wheel handle. In the Fender Stratocaster set is cleverly used to represent internal amp components, and in some plant-themed sets, the candle is repurposed as stems and foliage. Talk about versatility. As for colors, it comes in 16 variations. White is by far the most common, lining up 109 sets, but it's the pearl gold version that shines next, showing up in 35 sets. So if you ever need a piece that adds a little extra glow to your build, whether literal or creative, this candle piece is certainly your go-to. Up next is the LEGO Swirl Piece, part 24866, which is a delightful little element that adds a swirl of fun to any build. Looking like a soft serve ice cream cone, it's often found in shades like brown, chocolate, white, vanilla, or even more playful colors. But this swirl piece isn't just about making sweet, creamy ice cream cone. It's also found in some rather unexpected and humorous places. in food-related sets, such as Friends Heart Lake Food Market, set 41108. It's used to add charm and detail to dessert displays, making your builds look extra tasty. But LEGO designers have a cheeky side too. In Collectible Minifigure Series 19, the swirl piece is recolored to resemble dog poop in the Dog Sitter set, where it accompanies a poop scoop accessory. It adds a fun, slightly gross element to the scene, because who doesn't love a little LEGO realism? But wait, there's more. The swirl piece also makes its way into toilet-themed scenes, such as in LEGO City Train Station and Heart Lake City Airplane, where it appears in toilet bowls. It's LEGO's way of keeping things real with a touch of humor, even in places you'd least expect it. The versatility doesn't end there though. The designers have creatively used it as part of decorative elements, architectural features, or even in fantasy builds. This LEGO piece has appeared in over 100 sets, with its most prominent appearance in Friends and City themed, where it's used for some quirky storytelling. While some fans appreciate the humor in these unusual applications, others might find the gross factor a bit too much for younger builders. Nonetheless, the swirl piece has earned a place in LEGO fan culture as one of the most bizarre yet inventive dual-purpose elements in the brick world. From this massive Daily Bugle LEGO set from Marvel that has 25 minifigures to this colossal LEGO Death Star which has 27 minifigures, these are LEGO sets with way too many minifigures. This has to be one of the most impressive LEGO castles ever created. The sheer size of it is incredible, and the level of detail is just mind-blowing. This set boasts 22 minifigures. Each is a character in its own right with detailed outfits and accessories. You've got brave knights in shining armor, cunning rogues lurking in the shadows, and even a wise old wizard with his magical staff. It's a whole cast of characters ready to bring this castle to life. Wow, this Ninjago City Garden set is an absolute explosion of color and creativity. A bustling metropolis packed into a single LEGO creation. The way this building is constructed is incredible. There are so many minifigures in this set, 29 of them to be exact, each with their own personality and story. You've got the Ninja Warriors, Kai's double-bladed sword, and Zane's shurikens look like they could do some real damage. The tea room owner looks so peaceful and serene, while the noodle shop chef is all business with his giant ladle. There's many more familiar faces from the hit TV show. Up next, we got the absolutely massive LEGO Death Star. With a staggering 27 minifigures, the scale of this build is incredible, and it really captures the intimidating presence of the Empire's ultimate weapon. Maybe the most impressive thing about the LEGO Space Station is the minifigurine count of 27 you get. Darth Vader is instantly recognizable even in LEGO form. That black helmet, the red lightsaber, and that menacing pose, it's all there. Grand Moff Tarkin might not have a lightsaber or any fancy weapons, but he's still a formidable figure. He's the one who gave the order to destroy Alderaan, and he's not someone you want to mess with. Obi-Wan Kenobi is looking wise and powerful with his flowing robes and blue lightsaber. He's the Jedi Master who guided Luke on his path to becoming a Jedi, and he's ready to face his former apprentice Darth Vader. You can recreate all your favorite scenes from the movies, or create your own epic battles between the Rebel Alliance and the Galactic Empire. The Ninjago City set is a vertical artwork of the bustling city. It's stacked with so many interesting little shops and scenes, a whole city crammed into one awesome building. The set's 16 minifigures look like they're really enjoying browsing through the latest issues. The rooftop garden that boasts all sorts of plants and flowers looks like a peaceful place to relax and escape the hustle and bustle of the city below. Those minifigures look right at home in their little LEGO world. The way the different areas are connected and the minifigures interact with each other really brings it to life. It's like a snapshot of a real city, but frozen in a LEGO form. This LEGO Mos Eisley Cantina set is a fantastic recreation recreation of one of the most iconic locations in Star Wars. It perfectly captures the gritty and dusty atmosphere of Tautanui, and it's packed with features that will delight any fan of the saga. It's packed with all sorts of colorful bottles and glasses, and those alien minifigures really bring the scene to life. Those booths are instantly recognizable from the movie. This is where Han Solo and Greedo had their infamous confrontation. You can feel the tension in the air. That dewback is a fantastic build. The way they've captured the creature's lanky limbs and its distinctive head while the sand trooper is riding it is impressive. This set is more than just a building. It's a portal to the Star Wars universe. Continuing with Star Wars is this LEGO Ewok Village. The 17 minifigures the set has are all very interesting and individual. Wicket W. Warwick is the star of the show, and this minifigure is adorable. That furry hood, the spear, and that determined expression, it's like he's ready to take on the Empire all over again. Logray is looking wise and mystical with his headdress and staff. He's the Ewok shaman, and he's ready to use his magic to help defeat the Empire. Chief Chirpa is the leader of the Ewoks, and he looks regal in this minifigure. That elaborate headdress and that wise expression shows that he's a respected leader. That Scout Trooper is a cool addition to the set too. The black and white helmet and the blaster makes him a recognizable figure from the Endor scenes. The variety of minifigures in this set is great. You've got Ewoks, Rebel soldiers, and even an Imperial Scout Trooper. It's a whole cast of characters ready to recreate the Battle of Endor. Up next, we got the Marvel LEGO Daily Bugle Skyscraper set. It's not just a building, it's a stage for epic battles and dramatic encounters between Spider-Man and his amazing friends and foes. With a classic yellow taxi, a newsstand with newspapers, and even a fire hydrant, it really captures the feel of a busy New York City street. And the minifigures! This set is packed with 25 of them, each more recognizable than the next one. Spider-Man is looking as amazing as ever. His iconic red-blue color suit with the spider logo and the web pattern is as famous as it is cool. Miles Morales is a great addition to the set. His black and red suit looks fantastic, and it's a nice contrast to Peter Parker's classic red and blue. Ghost Spider adds a touch of feminine power to the set. Her white and pink suit is eye-catching, and her ghostly abilities make her a formidable opponent. Venom is as menacing as ever in LEGO form. That toothly grin and that oversized tongue are straight out of the comics, and he's sure to be a fearsome foe for Spider-Man. Dr. Octopus is a classic Spider-Man villain, and this minifigure does him justice. Those mechanical tentacles look menacing, and his angry expression shows that he's ready for a fight. The variety of minifigures in this set is incredible. There are so many iconic characters from the Spider-Man universe, each with their own unique look and personality. It's a collector's dream come true. This LEGO set is really unorthodox, as it's a table football, aka a foosball in LEGO form. With a wide range of skin tones, hairstyles, and facial expressions, it's awesome to see this level of representation in a LEGO set. The fact that you can customize the minifigures with different hair pieces and heads is a really amazing feature. It allows you to create a team that truly represents you and your friends. You can even give them different expressions to match their playing style or their mood. The minifigures are designed to be dynamic and posable, so you can really bring the game to life. They can kick the ball, block shots, and even celebrate goals with their arms raised in victory. The spectators in the stands add a bit more spice to the fun layer of fun of the set. They're all cheering and waving flags, creating a lively atmosphere for the game. It's like having your own personal cheering section. This LEGO table football set is all about bringing people together for a fun and competitive game. The minifigures are a key part of that, representing the diversity and camaraderie of the sport. Moving on to Lord of the Rings and this absolutely breathtaking LEGO Rivendell set, which perfectly captures the beauty and serenity of the Elven Sanctuary. The passionate designs and the organic shapes create a truly magical atmosphere. Of course, this set would not be complete without its 15 minifigures. The Rivendell set includes all the key characters from the Fellowship of the Ring, each with their own unique details and accessories. Gandalf the Grey is instantly recognizable with his long beard, pointed hat, and magical staff. He's the wise and powerful wizard who guides the Fellowship on their quest. Frodo Baggins is the brave hobbit who carries the One Ring. His determined expression and the small but powerful ring around his neck show the weight of his responsibility. Legolas is the skilled archer of the Fellowship. His elven features combined with his bow and his flowing blonde hair capture his grace and agility. Gimli is the fierce dwarf warrior. His sturdy axe and determined expression show his strength and loyalty. Aragorn is the rightful king of Gondor, and his minifigure captures his noble bearing and his skill as a ranger. Boromir is the strong and proud warrior of Gondor. His minifigure showcases his impressive armor and shield, representing his strength and his dedication to protecting his people. The whole set feels like the perfect replica of the magical world Tolkien envisioned. All aboard the LEGO Hogwarts Express from Harry Potter, which boasts 20 minifigures. This vibrant red train with the billowing steam and great design make it a truly enchanting model. The engine in the train is a true marvel, as cranking it can make the wheels move. This gives it the feel of a real steam engine miniaturized in Lego form. The minifigures are what make this set. Harry Potter is instantly recognizable with his signature scar and wand. He's the boy who lived, and he's ready to face any challenge that comes his way. Ron Weasley is Harry's loyal best friend. His freckles and mischievous expression capture his friendly and adventurous personality. Hermione Granger is the brilliant witch who always has the answers. Her books and intelligent expression show her dedication to learning and her quick wit. Remus Lupin is the werewolf professor who teaches Harry how to defend against dark creatures. The Trolley Witch is a friendly face on the Hogwarts Express. Her trolley full of sweets and treats is a welcome sight for hungry students. The Dementor is a truly chilling figure. Its dark flowing robes and skeletal face evoke a sense of dread and despair. It's a reminder of the dark forces that exist in the wizarding world. The minifigures in this set are a wonderful addition to any Harry Potter collection. They're detailed, expressive, and they perfectly capture the personalities of the beloved characters. This LEGO Hogwarts Express set is a wonderful way to relive the magic of the Harry Potter series. Take a look at this LEGO Cloud City set from Star Wars. It perfectly captures the grandeur and elegance of the floating city. With its sleek lines, impressive scale, and a design that's true to source material, the landing platform is a fantastic recreation of the legendary scene where Boba Fett's Slave One docks. The set comes along with 22 minifigures. Luke Skywalker is ready for action with his green lightsaber and determined expression. He's the hero of the Rebel Alliance, and he's prepared to face Darth Vader in a climactic duel. You also get another Darth Vader minifigure. Princess Leia Organa is a symbol of hope and rebellion. Her blaster and confident demeanor show that she's not afraid to fight for what she believes in. Han Solo is the roguish smuggler who always has a trick up his sleeve. His blaster and confident smirk show that he's ready for any challenge. Lando Calrissian is the charming administrator of Cloud City. His stylish outfit and charismatic smile hide his conflicted loyalties. Boba Fett is the fearsome bounty hunter who captured Han Solo. His Mandalorian armor and jetpack make him a formidable presence. Chewbacca is Han Solo's loyal companion and co-pilot. His towering height, furry appearance, and powerful bowcaster make him a formidable ally. This LEGO Cloud City set is a fantastic way to relive the excitement and drama of The Empire Strikes Back and is sure to transport you to a galaxy far, far away. This LEGO Lunar New Year Parade set is a joyous celebration of Chinese culture and traditions. The vibrant colors and playful characters create a festive atmosphere that's sure to bring good luck and prosperity. The minifigures in this set are a delightful mix of traditional and modern characters. The drummer minifigure with his traditional costume and energetic pose brings the parade to life, and the moving drums add a playful touch. The dancer minifigure twirls gracefully with a colorful tan. The flowing movements and the vibrant colors of the fan creates a sense of energy and excitement. The minifigure dressed in a rabbit costume symbolizes the year of the rabbit. The adorable rabbit ears and fluffy tail add a touch of whimsiness to the parade. You also got a fully LEGO family. You've got the grandparents with their kind smiles and warm expressions, the parents looking proud and happy, and the little kids with their playful energy. It's a heartwarming scene of family togetherness. This LEGO Lunar New Year Parade set is a wonderful way to celebrate the Lunar New Year and learn about Chinese culture. From the LEGO Movie 2, this LEGO set is a wild and wacky representation of the post-apocalyptic world from the film. It's a chaotic jumble of buildings, vehicles, and characters all mashed together in a creative way. With its 12 unique minifigures, the sets sport many cool and well-known figures. Emmett, who is the optimistic and resourceful hero of the story ready to take action. Lucy, who is a strong and independent warrior fighting for what's right. Batman, who is the brooding superhero who always has a plan. Harley Quinn, who is the unpredictable and mischievous villain who always keeps things interesting. Green Lantern, who is a fearless superhero who uses his willpower to create powerful green energy constructs. He's a symbol of hope and courage in the face of danger. This LEGO Movie 2 LEGO set is a fun and engaging set that's sure to inspire hours of play and storytelling.
From an entire list of iconic characters like Mickey Mouse and Deadpool with different missing prints on them, to unexpected typos like minifigures in the Harley Fatboy set, here are some rare and different misprints that add a unique twist to LEGO as a whole. Kicking things off with figures that have completely missing prints. First off, we've got the alien from Toy Story, and this one's just a bit eerie because it's missing all eye printing, like all of it. Imagine 3 blank eye sockets staring back at you. Definitely a rare find, though these kinds of misprints are more common than you might expect. I mean, that looks a bit creepy though. But moving on now, we have Mickey Mouse, and there are a couple of interesting misprints here too. One version has absolutely no eye printing, which makes Mickey look kind of spooky and, similar to the alien from Toy Story, and the other has its eyes printed way down at the bottom of these sockets, giving Mickey a very unusual and unsettling appearance. Both of these variations, however, have been around for a while, so you might just come across one of them before. But now let's even talk about Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. Here's yet another figure with no eye printing at all on the upper eye parts. It's actually a pretty unique find, especially since SpongeBob misprints aren't all that common. And look, I'm not sure if you noticed, but it seems like a lot of these quirky misprints tend to show up more in collectible minifigure series, but that's maybe just because they're produced in different factories or batches, who really knows. Shifting gears, however, to Ninjago, there's also this Kai minifigure where the face print is slightly shifted up. And this means that the eyes end up at the top of the bandana, which gives it a bit of an unconventional look. Although it's not a major misprint like some of the other ones, it's definitely interesting to spot. Another Ninjago figure, though, to check out is one where the entire face print is pushed down. Picture this, the mouth ends up on the chin and the eyes are where the nose should be. It results in a figure with a massive forehead and a rather comical appearance. I mean, just look at this thing. But another collectible minifigure is the Boxer. On one side, everything's fine, but on the other, where there should be bruising, there's none at all. It's a straightforward misprint, but still noteworthy for collectors who appreciate these kinds of variations. Like a Boxer with no bruising, that's kind of just useless. But here, moving on, take a look at Dracula from Monster Fighters, because this one's interesting also. The mouth ends up at the bottom opening of the stud meant for the chin, and the eyes are positioned way down at the bottom of the face. And honestly, it gives Dracula an unintentionally funny and exaggerated forehead, making it one of the more humorous misprints out there. You know, it's kind of funny. But then there is this baby minifigure where its face is printed on the top of the head and the mouth awkwardly placed on the forehead. Now, I know the picture is a bit blurry, but it still displays the amusing yet adorable misprint of this, little baby minifigure. Or how about Dr. Herbert from the Simpsons series? And this figure is yet again another example where the eye printing is missing, leaving just 2 black dots. What's up with all the eye misprints? Why is it so common? Or even the Cheshire Cat from another collectible minifigure series. I mean, this one's just a real mess. The eyes, the nose, and the mouth are all off center and jumbled up. It's chaotic, but honestly, it's pretty captivating too. I mean, just look at it. And next up is Loki, whose head print is slightly lowered. Now, you may think it's not a huge change, but it's definitely noticeable, and it adds a unique twist to the character's look. And sticking with Marvel, Black Widow, there is a version where her face has a bit too much black ink around the eyes. I mean, that looks a little weird. And when you compare it to the regular version, it's clear that something definitely changed during the printing process. And now moving to DC, there is Two-Face, where one side of the face has purple ink instead of the usual black. This kind of variation is quite the discovery, especially from older collections where you might find unexpected surprises like this. And back to Marvel with Deadpool, but not for his usual antics. This figure completely missed a step during the printing process, like completely. And if you guessed correctly, the leg pouch is completely missing. Unlike misprints where the details are off, sometimes parts just skip a printing step altogether. And how about Hulk from Age of Ultron? Because in one variant, only half of his pants got printed. It's quite strange and almost comical to see such a big character, especially for Lego, with half of its attire missing in action. Coming up next, Indiana Jones steps into the spotlight with not one, but 2 misprints. One figure has a messed up leg printing, while the other has a belt and a holster that are completely misaligned. Honestly, it's interesting to see how these kinds of mistakes can even slip through quality control. And one of the crazier examples is the iconic Spider-Man, where both the head and torso are misprinted. The eyes spill out of their usual black borders on the head, and the torso's silver detailing is incomplete. Despite these flaws, though, it is a piece that we can all appreciate because it's quite rare and unique. Moving along, take a look at the 501st Stormtrooper with a seriously skewed helmet print. It's another example where the printing didn't quite align as intended, creating a striking visual difference from the standard design. Then there's the Scarlet Witch, whose tiara is almost completely misprinted in one version. These kinds of misprints can really change the appearance of a figure, adding a quirky charm to the collection. Like, honestly, would you even care if your figure looked like this? But perhaps one of the most amusing misprints is the backward printed Chewbacca. Imagine his nose on the back of his head and the bandolier belt facing the wrong way. It's a total accident during the printing process, but ends up becoming a cherished piece due to its unusual and funny nature. Moving on to a regular Stormtrooper, though, there is a small misprint on the visor where it's pushed down about a centimeter. It's not a major flaw, but it's definitely noticeable if you look closely. And next, we have a TIE Fighter pilot with a similar issue. The Imperial symbols and the face details are printed slightly lower than they should be. For reference, this is what it looks like. Now let's talk about a more notable misprint involving Greedo from 2014. This minifigure has misprinted eyes that are lower than they should be. What, bro? Why is it the eyes? This gives Greedo a bit of a funny, sad expression, which contrasts with his usual confident demeanor. Poor guy. Sticking with Star Wars though, Quinlan Vos, hopefully I'm saying that name right, there is a variant from the Republic Frigate set where one version has a more defined beard and mustache compared to the other for whatever reason. And here's another fascinating find, a Death Watch Mandalorian with no visor print at all. Instead of the usual black visor, it's just a plain gray where the visor should be. Or here, check out this strange looking minifigure head with a line across the top and a circle under its left eye. It's pretty creepy looking, which makes it way more appealing in my opinion. It's just that much different. Then we have this Lego City minifigure with a torso that was supposed to be bright red but turned out much darker. Imagine expecting a vibrant red and getting a deep shade instead. It's a bit disappointing if you're following the set instructions closely because it can honestly confuse you. And of course, moving back to Greedo from the original Mos Eisley Cantina set, there is a version where Lego forgot to print on his right arm. And that's a pretty noticeable oversight considering how detailed these figures usually are. Now, here's a Senate Trooper with a backward helmet print. It looks fine from afar, but upon closer inspection, you do realize the print is on the wrong side of the helmet. Next up, an original 2005 Episode 3 Anakin Skywalker minifigure with an incomplete torso print. It seems like they only got the base layer of the lighter tan color, missing all the intricate details along the way. The comparison to what it should look like really highlights the mistake as well. I mean, look at these two. Then there's a 212's Trooper helmet that is completely lopsided. Unlike the Senate Trooper's backward print, this one is just skewed to the side, making it look unusual and just kind of comical too. We now even encounter a Shadow Trooper from 2007 with another helmet print that's shifted down and to the left. It gives off the illusion that the Trooper's head is turned towards you even though the helmet itself is straight. It's a subtle little detail but adds to an interesting dynamic to the figure. And plus, here's yet another Chewbacca misprint where the head print is placed way too low, making his face and smile appear on his torso. It's such a strange look that almost passes as a makeshift beard if you try squinting or if you squint hard enough. And still speaking of Star Wars, you may have noticed that there is quite a few, well, a lot of Star Wars misprints in this video. So by the end of the video, comment down how many Star Wars misprints you were actually able to keep up with and which one surprised you the most. And I wasn't kidding, because check out this cool Boba Fett with a helmet misprint that gives him a unique battle-worn look. It almost appears like he got blood splatters across his helmet as if he just came out of a rough skirmish. It's such a standout misprint that would definitely add some character to any collection. Moving on to a 2011 ARC Trooper with a subtle but cool misprint on the torso. It seems like the printer was low on ink or something because the usual dark gray torso ended up lighter. It's one of those details you might miss at first glance, but once you notice it, it's pretty neat to see how even the small printing errors can change the whole look of a minifigure as a whole. Next, there's a Stormtrooper Shock Trooper with a shifted helmet print. The eye and top prints are noticeably off-center, giving the trooper a slightly askew appearance. Take a look at this R2-D2 figure. At first glance, it seems normal, but take a closer look and you'll notice that the colors on different sections are a bit misaligned. It's a very subtle flaw, but it definitely disrupts the usual sleek appearance of everyone's favorite droid. On top of that, there's this classic yellow space minifigure. Something seems off though, right? Well, that's because the torso print is leaning to one side instead of being perfectly centered. Now, I know it's not a major flaw, but it definitely does throw off the symmetry quite a bit. Surprisingly enough though, despite the imperfection, collectors are all about this, with the prices soaring as high as $1,200 or even more. Now check out this Stormtrooper head with a noticeable issue. The eyes are completely wrong. It gives the character a distinct and somewhat peculiar look compared to the standard design. Despite its quirky appearance, this misprinted Stormtrooper head is fetching around $75 on the collector's market. Moving on to something really unique though, LEGO game controllers that were making waves among collectors. These aren't just any controllers though. They were short shot during production, meaning they didn't quite come out in the correct shape. Some even have missing prints adding to their allure. However, these quirky pieces are commanding prices though of about $35 each, proving that even manufacturing errors can become highly sought after in the LEGO community and people that just collect LEGO in general. Alright, let's zoom in on the LEGO Creator Harley Fat Boy set for just a moment. Picture this, you're eagerly unboxing your brand new set, excited to dive into building your very own Harley Davidson Fat Boy replica. But wait, what's this? As you peel off the sticker meant to showcase the iconic Milwaukee 8 engine, you'll notice something's not quite right. Instead of spelling out Milwaukee in full glory, the sticker reads Milwaukee, missing that crucial second E at the end. It's a very small detail, sure, but for anyone familiar with the Harley-Davidson lore or just someone who appreciates accuracy in their collectibles, it's a bit of a bummer in a way. Now, brace yourself for the Tusken Raider minifigure that caused a stir. What's the big deal, you might ask? Well, the face print is just slightly lower than it should be, a subtle misprint that has collectors scrambling to add it to their collections. Because this tiny figure right here is currently valued at an astonishing $5,000. I'll say that again, $5,000. It's amazing how a minor printing error can turn a Lego minifigure into a valuable treasure. $5,000! And now let's talk about Spider-Gwen, everyone's favorite with a twist. At first glance, she does look normal, but her torso is printed on the wrong color body, orange instead of the usual white. This small but significant error has transformed Spider-Gwen into a hot commodity among collectors, with current listings reaching an incredible $10,000! $10,000! That's a hefty price tag for a small plastic figure, but it does show you the dedication and passion of some Lego enthusiasts who are willing to pay top dollar for these rare and unique items. I mean, be honest, would you buy a pricey misprint of your favorite Lego minifigure? Like, would you spend this much? Let me know in the comments. I mean, just take a look at the C-3PO minifigure sporting a red leg. Now, normally C-3PO is all gold, but this misprint gives him a unique twist with that standout red leg. Now, I think he had a red arm sometime somewhere, but it kind of reminds me of his red arm in The Force Awakens, except this time it's his leg stealing the show. These kinds of unexpected errors make collectors go wild, and C-3PO with a red leg could easily fetch hundreds of dollars on platforms like eBay. Moving on to another amusing misprint, we have the Tasmanian Devil minifigure with misaligned eyes. Instead of being properly centered, the eyes are printed low and to the side, giving this figure a charmingly quirky look. Despite being a mistake, this misprint has become a favorite among collectors. Now, let's get into the fascinating Two-Face head misprint. Another Two-Face misprint. This one's a real gem though. A rare Lego error where a minifigure head ends up with two faces printed side by side. Imagine that, like no joking. Two faces side by side. It's like a double dose of personality in one figure. These misprints happen due to a glitch in the printing process, and they're highly sought after. I mean, some collectors are even willing to pay up to $250 for just one of these pieces. But let me show you something really cool. This Toad block I stumbled upon. Normally, these blocks only have printing on one side, but this little guy here, he's got printing all over. It's such a hilarious sight, but honestly, it does add some charm. Who wouldn't crack a smile seeing Toad completely covered in print? It's not just funny though, it's downright cute. Now, check out this Black Panther misprint head. Instead of the usual color scheme, it's printed on this tannish flesh tone. It's a subtle difference for sure, but it does give Black Panther a totally unique look. And then there's the yellow-faced, jaundiced-looking Batman. You don't see these every day. Yellow-faced minifigures are a rare find nowadays since LEGO moved on to different color schemes years ago. This makes the yellow-faced Batman a real gem for collectors. Imagine having such a piece in your collection. It's not even just about rarity at this point. You're basically owning a piece of LEGO history. Up next, take a look at this security keypad with a goofy misprint on it. Instead of being printed the usual way, it's completely reversed, printing over the brick stud. Look at this thing. This thing looks completely whack. Or even check out Cole's headpiece from the Sons of Garmadon sets. The printing on his eyebrows and eyes didn't quite make it, creating an unusual look due to an ink problem during printing. Or moving on to Sensei Wu from 2012, this minifigure is missing its signature gold detailing. Normally adorned with bright metallic gold accents, this one ended up without them, almost like the printer completely ran out of gold paint mid-production. Let's talk about the N-Pop girl from the LEGO Ninjago movie series. One side of her face is completely devoid of the black detailing, which gives her a slightly eerie yet strangely captivating appearance. And jumping back to 2011, there is a common misprint issue seen in a Kai minifigure. The eyes aren't aligned properly with the mask's center point, and the scar prints are lighter and less defined than usual, making this misprint a noticeable standout. Or even from the 2012 Serpentine Wave, we have a ZX Ninja mask printed on a green piece instead of a standard white. To top it off though, the print itself is interesting incomplete, suggesting a glitch in the printing process that led to an unfinished product as a whole. Or even moving forward to the Ninjago City set from the Lego Ninjago movie, there is a misprint where a printed piece is noticeably off-center, detracting from its intended design, and it's irking perfectionists everywhere. I mean, doesn't that just bug you a bit? Just a little bit? Or hey, look, remember the 2012 Lloyd minifigure from the collectible series? Early releases saw his hair mistakenly printed in a gray instead of its intended color, an error that was later corrected in subsequent versions, but how do you even make that mistake? Gray hair? Are you kidding? Gray hair? But now onto a rare find, the Samukai misprint. In this instance, the facial printing around his nose and upper mouth is completely absent, giving Samukai an unintended and rather distinctive appearance. Shifting gears to a Sons of Garmadon Kai minifigure, here's one with the logo misprinted off to the side and lower than intended. This small yet noticeable misalignment adds a quirky touch to this particular figure. And here we even have a standout misprint involving General Cryptor. This minifigure is missing the characteristic red dots on its headgear, which are typically a defining feature of Ninjroids in the Lego universe. Time to mix things up now, because who here is a fan of Harry Potter? Because guess what? We got some Harry Potter misprints on this list too. I mean, for instance, check out this misprint of Harry Potter himself. Imagine his iconic glasses on his headpiece, but they're printed slightly off to the side. This misprint does give him this cool 3D effect, like the glasses are popping out. It is a subtle misprint, but it definitely adds a unique touch to his minifigure. But onto a real gem, Dobby with his misprinted eyes. This version of Dobby is probably the creepiest you'll ever see. The eye prints are totally wonky. One almost is touching his forehead and the other is down near his cheek. It's hilarious and a bit unsettling for sure at the same time, but it is perfect for anyone collecting odd Legos. Then there's poor Hedwig. The owl's eyes are completely missing. And if that wasn't enough already, the black tip of its beak ended up beside where it should be. It's like Hedwig decided to go incognito with invisible eyes and a misplaced beak tip. Definitely a conversation starter among Lego enthusiasts for sure. Or even moving along to Basilic's body. At first glance, it might seem fine, but look closer. The scales are printed all wrong. Instead of wrapping around where they should be, they're down on the stomach area. It's as if the printing machine got a little confused and flipped the design upside down. It's quirky to say the least and makes you wonder how these things happen. And of course, the infamous orange Dementor head. Now this one's got a bit of a cult following in the misprint world. Imagine a Dementor deciding to dress up for Halloween and getting an orange spray tan instead of the usual gray. It's like a jack-o'-lantern version of a Dementor, and it's oddly charming in its mistaken identity. Alright, anyways, check out this cool Olaf minifigure with the most hilarious and goofiest misprint you'll ever see. His eyes are printed way more on his left side, and his carrot nose practically covers the right eye. Now, if I was a kid and I got this in my Lego set, I'd probably be sad. But as a collector, this misprint version is way better and probably sells for a good price too. And then there's this AT-AT driver where the print is all scrunched up on the left side of the helmet. Honestly, it's also kind of cool in a quirky way. It's got that misprint charm, and the collectors often go nuts over something like this. But now, one of the more really interesting ones is the Jango Fett headpiece printed in red. I'm gonna say that again. Jango Fett headpiece printed in red. It kind of gives off Mandalorian Super Commando vibes, which is a neat departure from the usual colors you'd expect, but I don't even know how they messed this up. And then there's this Dengar figure from 2014 rocking a red Kilgon Dinjin headpiece. Apparently, it's a test print, which means they used cheaper colors to check the prints before going full production. I mean, I guess it's pretty cool how they experiment like that. Or you've even got this Umbarian soldier with a bright light orange head instead of the usual medium lavender. It's a subtle tweak, but it definitely changes up the look of the figure. And how about that Gamorrean guard missing the nose and belt print? It's like a minimalist version, which is kind of cool, I guess, but it does add a unique twist to the usual design. Oh, and then of course there's also the Anakin figure from way back in 2005, missing details like the belt and robe prints. It almost feels like a rare prototype that never got fully printed, making it a real gem for collectors. Like, honestly, if I had something like this, I'd be pretty happy with it. And last but not least, let's rewind to the early days of the Lego Back to the Future Time Machine set, where a small but noticeable error slipped through the cracks. You see, in the initial batches of this beloved set, there was a bit of a typo on the flux capacitor panel. Instead of spelling shield correctly, they accidentally printed it as shelled, with the E before the I. Very common typo, I guess, but that's a little bit crazy for Lego. Now, for fans of the iconic movie franchise, this wasn't exactly movie accurate, right? But here's where LEGO really showed their commitment to quality. Once they caught wind of this mistake, the LEGO Kuso team, which was responsible for bringing the set to life in the first place through fan support, stepped up to the plate. They didn't just issue an apology, they even went a step further, because LEGO offered to replace the incorrect pieces with the right ones for anyone who wanted them. I mean, that's a pretty cool move, don't you think? It means that fans and collectors who wanted their DeLorean time machine to be as accurate as possible could get a corrected version free of charge. They don't got to worry about anything. They made it super easy for everyone. So anyways, which one was your favorite LEGO misprint and why? Let me know in the comments below, and of course, subscribe!